everyone. Welcome back to Oceania 2084. This is our game, our campaign of the same name as the game that we are playing. It's written by Ewan Erickson, who is a fantastic activist and game design professor at the graduate level, and game designer who created this game and others. If you're interested in finding out more about his approach to game design, about this game, we have a long conversation that by the time you're watching this may at least partially be up. We're still working out when we're going to put it up between myself and him, so you can find out more there. We may or may not also have educational content up by the time you're watching this about this game that is a little bit quicker to get through. So if you want to see, like, how do you make a character for this game, or what's it like to prep a campaign, how do you approach safety in a game like this, we're going to have videos like that you can check out. Safety I bring up not only because it's always important and we take it very seriously here at Streaming Rainbow, but because this is a rough game. This is 1984, the game, more or less, right? It's influenced by a lot of other dystopian literature, and it's also influenced by a lot of dystopian realities, right? Because of the second part in particular, it's really important that anybody who picks this up play in a high-trust environment with clear communication, take safety seriously, use safety tools, whichever ones work for you, and however they work for you. Embrace them fully, because that is how you, in our experience, are able to effectively take care of everybody at the table, and that matters far more than any stories that we're telling or games that we're playing, and allows you to get into more complicated gameplay and tell more complicated, difficult stories together in ways that everybody feels good about, right? So we're going to be doing that tonight. There will be a lot of tough stuff. We're going to put content information somewhere around the video. I don't know the full extent of what might come up tonight yet, because we play to find out, and there's a highly generative system, so there's very little that I actually have planned. Also, even though I'm talking right now, I'm not the GM, because there is no GM. I am the big brother player, and I play a very different game than the resistance players, which are the kinds of players that my friends here are tonight. So if you're not in the mood for something that could be incredibly heavy, include player character death, include a lot of trauma-oriented or possibly even like vicariously traumatizing stuff, we have lots of other stuff here on the channel that you could watch. If you find you're partway through this episode and it turns out to be too much, or something comes up that's too much, that's okay. You can step away. If you want to watch more of this show, you can do that. Every episode is episodic in nature. So you're going to be fine stepping away and not seeing the rest of what's there. Or if you just need a pause and you want to come back to it, that's cool too. We're doing the same thing. You're going to notice at certain points potentially that people might get up and take a break. That is by design. You know, we want everybody to do what they need to do to take care of themselves, and that includes you. Thank you for joining us here, for wanting to watch this. And without further ado, I would love for my friends to introduce themselves. So we are going to go Austin to PJ to Anna to Eli. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. My name's Austin Baki. I also go by the Diabetic DM. My pronouns are he, they. And I'm playing Martin Clear, whose pronouns are he, him. He is mostly a librarian in a world that doesn't really need them anymore, trying to make a world in his head that needs a little bit of everything. You can usually find me over at Stories Told Again. Right now, we are doing a villain campaign where I'm playing a character called the Scrungler.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is PJ McGaw. I am playing Just Insomnia. Both of our pronouns are he, him. I am playing an individual who got lucky doing online stream and influencer style content, who then had to sell out to become an influencer for the Conglomerate. And what a toll that takes on the human soul. So we'll see if he's going to either burn bright or burn out. Once again, both our pronouns are he, him. And everything else I'm doing on socials, PJ McGaw. Find me there.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, or Anna Eliza. I use she, they pronouns, and today I'm playing Cynthia Hillcroft, who uses she, her pronouns. Cynthia was a secretary or clerk for an office building and has recently been promoted to Conglomerate official. She's in a strained marriage that may or may not be on the mend as they look at options for adoption, maybe. You can usually find me around the web at locallvluplady or over at my home base on Hilarity Save RPG.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Eli here. They them pronouns. And tonight I will be playing once again Kian Jones. He him pronouns. He is a prole one. He's a landscaper who has ADHD and maybe he wants some freedom in the world. Who knows? We'll see. He's just a landscaper. Everything's chill, relax. And you can always find me here on Streaming Rainbow. This is where I live. But if you're looking for my other stuff, I'm Eli the Comfort Dragon on everywhere else.
Thank you. And I'm Danny Mendoza, he, him, Danny R Mendoza everywhere on the internet. So you just put Danny, the letter R, Mendoza into whatever, and I'm there. But Blue Sky is a good place to follow me for TTRPG updates. I'm also a member of the staff here at Streaming Rainbow. So, without further ado, I'm going to give a bit of information to help ground everybody in where we're at in the world right now, and then we're going to dive right in. If this is your first episode watching the game, hopefully you're going to be able to follow what we're doing. We do like to help people learn how to pick up games like this, encourage you all through our play to play well at the table with each other, be kind to each other in helping each other play these games. You don't have to be perfect at something to do it. In fact, I don't know how that would even be possible, and I'm not sure that perfect exists. In this game in particular, it is radically egalitarian in its structure at the table. I have a different role than everybody else, different responsibilities, but we are all equals here, and part of that is that we help each other with rules and with remembering things about the story. You're also going to see my friends over here all playing a bunch of NPCs called trusted characters. I don't play those. They do. I don't have narrative control over that. They do. This is a game all about narrative control and consequence and who gets to have it and who doesn't. I have narrative control over every bad thing that will ever happen to any of the characters that exist in this game. And I have narrative control over the systems and structures that make those bad things possible. So the ministry is the thought police, the devices that monitor them in this techno-feudalistic, oligarchical, conglomerate, monopolistic hellscape that they live in. That hellscape has a bunch of banned words in it. Those banned words are banned above table and at the level of the fiction. So it's not just a matter of the characters not being able to say it. If anyone other than me, because these are rules for thee and not for me, says these words, they're a thought crime. And I get to do something with that they don't get to know about, so you don't get to know about it. But if you watch our educational videos, especially the ones about how to be a Big Brother player, then you can get to know about it. You could also pick up the book. If you want to get the physical copy, it's beautiful. If you want to get the illustrated copy of PDF, also beautiful. You can get an austere edition, gives you all the information fully for free. And that's on itch, and we'll put a link somewhere for that. Back to the hellscape. The banned words right now, walking into this session, are share, band, support, for, and that is both the digit 4 and the spelled out word for, F-O-U-R, Jax, J-A-X, Oleana, Randy, and Kadir. Now, with the names, it is primarily about specifically referring to people who were vaporized, right? So there could theoretically be another Randy, another Oleana in the world, as long as they're not that person. One thing that we're going to be doing moving forward is I'm going to ask everybody to put like a last name on their trusted characters, and we might do that retroactively on these. But when it comes to the for question, even though that was a name specifically, because it's written as both the digit and the word for, if you say 4, like you roll a d6 and you get a 4, that is a thought crime. That is how we're handling this right now. So good luck with that. City atmosphere. one of the generative elements of this game is that we are able to pull from pick lists for various things. There is a list that you're able to use in the book to generate under campaign rules from, you can roll a d10 or you can just pick from the 10 options, some ways of sparking ideas, right, about the atmosphere of the city that you find yourselves in Oceania, which is one of 5 components of the Conglomerate, right, which is where all of you live. We have decided to bring in 4 sets of that to here, in part because for authoritarian regimes, contradiction is a feature, not a bug. And this is reflective of your individual realities, not reflective of something that is total in its definitiveness of the space in which you live. So here are some ideas to keep in mind about things that could resonate for your characters about the environments you walk through. They may be violent, pungent, and scared. They may be ecological, spacious, and paranoid. They may be silent, empty, and solemn. They may be grandiose, commercial, and private. We may or may not get through all 6 phases of a day. There are 6 phases in a day. There are a certain number of acts that you are restricted to as a maximum. You don't have to do that many to get through the day. You can do fewer per phase. There are some additional elements that have to go into each phase. We'll see how far we go. We will cut with enough time to be able to de-roll at the end. Anyone who would like to be a part of that, there's no obligation in that, is able to do so on camera. And we're doing that for you all, folks, who are watching this, so that you can see what that process looks like, and maybe be encouraged to do a similar process at the table if you pick up this game. Without further ado, we're entering the morning phase, and I am passing everything to you.
I can go first. Kian wakes up in his tiny apartment. It is so small that if he laid across the floor, his feet would touch one wall and his hands would touch the other. Another day. I would like to, for my 3 morning actions, I would like to write a note. Text somebody. Text Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And go somewhere.
Okay. You're going to be home when you write the note, it seems.
I am going to be at home when I write the note.
Okay. Go ahead and describe that, and then we'll take care of the text messaging with Iris. Everybody else think about who might want to play Iris, because maybe Iris texts back. And then we'll settle the go something after that, or go somewhere. I'm sorry. Do you have any stress?
I do. I am on stress 2, so I will have to roll a d10 3 times.
Yeah, but we can take them one at a time if you want, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll do it with each action.
I also take my medicine, and maybe I just keep the pill tucked in my cheek. 7. Okay. For the note, another page is carefully pulled from Kian's comic book, and a message is scratched. Words are scratched out, almost like they're being erased, to leave. Almost like a photo negative of the message he wants to leave, which is: rest is resistance. Don't give up. Yeah. Then he has his delicious, basic, oatmeal. That's not really oatmeal. That's something, some kind of slop. And the message he sends to Iris is: I'm sorry your day was so hard. I'm thinking about you. Text. 7 again. Hooray.
Does anybody who might want to pick up Iris for this scene reply?
Yeah, I'll hop in as Iris. Is there anything, Eli, that I need to know about Iris or the bad day that she had?
Iris is an assistant hairdresser. And the other day, she made a mistake on somebody's hair during a home visit. She didn't cut it short enough. And she was going to be punished.
I think after a few minutes, not too long, you get a notification back that says, "Thank you. I'm trying to stop thinking about it."
I can't send another text message. That's an extra.
Yeah, it is an extra act. You could always do it in a subsequent phase if you'd like.
Yes.
I will say, you're carrying the note. You sent that text message. I think you're fine. I kind of want to give Iris a value test, but that's not something I'm allowed to do here. It's not a function of the game. But I don't feel like Kian needs to take a value test. Do you agree with that, Eli?
I will put myself up for one. I think this is anti-good think. I don't think he's agreeing with being punished for making a mistake in the wrong direction, in like an okay direction.
Yeah, fair enough. So is good think good or bad for Kian?
It is bad.
Okay, so you're rolling under guilt or sadness. Which one?
They are both the same. So, I think sadness. This is what he rolled under before when it came to Iris, because it's just so unfair.
Okay.
So, and my sadness is a 4. 1.
Okay, so you succeed. So you are going to bump up apathy or despair. Which one?
Despair, which gets me up to a 5 for despair.
Okay. Before you go somewhere, every screen around you, including whatever device is attached to your person at all times, lights up. And you see not only on those screens, but actually projected holographically in front of you, a very tall, over 6 foot tall man, stern demeanor, stern visage. First, you see just his face, huge, right? Then you see the camera zoom back. You realize it's probably like an aerial drone or something. And you see this person on a stage in front of a military setup. Looks a bit like a ceremonial gifting of some kind of award. And Big Brother is up there as well. And brought to you by Minitrue and Minipacks working together. That's right. For the good of the conglomerate, we are celebrating David Rossi today. David Rossi, new conglomerate hero. Far too humble to take a well-due promotion, is nevertheless going to be celebrated today. Today is officially David Rossi Day, everyone. And you see just standing up in unison, clapping with an incredible amount of fervency, right? Are all of these military officials of a wide variety of ranks. All of them are saluting David Rossi. David Rossi's face is inscrutable in this moment. And this is not the first time that any of you would have heard of David Rossi on a day that we didn't meet most of you, but we did meet one of you. A day that was just yesterday. David Rossi was found to be reacting to the 2-minute hate in a way where they actually physically broke into it and became a part of it, even though they weren't a subject of it. And in the wake of that, during the second 2-minute hate, that subject of 2-minute hate was executed. And David Rossi was lauded as a hero, as having the right stuff for what the conglomerate needs. So this is just a celebration, big smiles from Big Brother, and in a moment of what is hard to tell how authentic or forced it might be, there is a smile from David Rossi as well. And a sign-off message that says, "Understand, friends," this is the Big Brother talking, "understand, friends, that if you embrace a freedom from everything that holds you back, from the thoughts that make you think that we might have anything other than your best interest at heart, if you are like David Rossi and give yourself completely to the loving embrace of the conglomerate, then you too can have anything you want." See you soon. And the morning broadcast ends.
Kian just kind of stares blankly at that, not really feeling anything one way or the other. David Rossi Day. All right. Then he grabs his stuff and goes to work.
Cool. And where does he... So I need a D10 for that. Where, just for the stress, where does he go to work?
Oh, that is a 6. So we are okay on stress. He is going to once again, he's making his way through the different business parks. And he's going to stop at 4 first. Business Park 4.
Okay.
Twice. There we go.
All right. So
got you those for free.
I do need to mention those were not the first you gave me for free. I'm probably not supposed to mention that, but I want to, because inside of myself I'm still Danny, even when I'm not. All right. So that's your morning. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. So where last I mentally left off, I know Justin survived an interrogation, but not without receiving a minor injury. I believe it was his thumb that was injured in the interrogation. So what he's going to do in this morning, he's going to take all of the content team that usually does his morning routines, like the ice bath around the face, the perfect cup of tea, and all the push-ups and stuff. And instead, he's going to try and film content where he goes using his insurance to go to the hospital to get his thumb fixed. He's trying to spin it as a FOMO piece. Hey, don't you wish you could be like me, getting medical care from these amazing doctors? Don't you wish you were part of the conglomerate that would give you this if you just accept it and work hard enough? I worked hard enough. You remember my days on the old late night streams. That was hard work. That was bootstraps, and it paid off. And look at me now. If I hurt my thumb working on the car in the garage, then I get to come here and get it dressed, and I get to heal quickly and come back to work. Happy to be here. Just, step up like I did. 5 easy steps. Link in bio. We'll talk about it later.
I love that. All right. So that is going to be a go somewhere, I would imagine. Do you have stress right now? Does
Oh, for
Justin?
sure. Yes, I'm a stress level 3.
Great. So I'm going to need a D6 for each action. What I'm hearing so far is it is at the very least 2 actions. It is go somewhere to go to the medical facility. It is an undefined action to get your treatment. And because you have the insurance, because you're bureaucrat level 2, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So because you have the insurance, that is, you can resolve that in a single act because you have the access to that resource. And then as a third act, you could do another thing. It could be working because you are technically working in the morning, but that doesn't have to be an act that you take, right? And this is the morning, so you will not be. It's not a thought crime for you to not work, right?
Correct. Okay, perfect. Yeah, well, then I'll roll that D6 right now for the, let's see, the action
One
to
for
get
go
here.
somewhere, yeah,
Mhm.
and then one for the medical stuff.
Okay. All right, that is a 4 on the D6 roll.
Okay. And what about? Yeah. Do you have anybody with you, by the way? You don't have to introduce because it would cost you an action to be clear what I'm asking. To introduce like a trusted character. But like, I'm fine on my side introducing strangers, right? But you mentioned that like you have team around you. What did you have in mind in terms of what that would look like?
Sure. Mechanically speaking, and I guess even narratively speaking, these individuals are familiar, but they're not trusted. These are people that were given to me to make this content as part of the agreement working for the conglomerate and as part of my experience working in social media and streaming. So for me, these are familiar strangers, but they are strangers to me.
Okay. How many would you say are usually around you?
I'm going to say, given the size and scope of the content, we probably have a team of 3 people just to kind of help me do what I got to do: camera, lighting, notes, and edits. So a light team of 3. Any one of them could be with me in the hospital.
Okay. So I'm gonna say all 3 are with you right now, and then uh, you've noticed as you've moved over to the hospital and while you've been there, you have a sense of being followed. Every time you look in the direction that you think that there might be somebody following you, you don't catch anybody there. But you have that feeling on you, right? Of eyes on you, separate from the eyes that you know are actually on you, right? And that follows you across your entire morning. Uh, you rolled both of your d6s, right?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay, I'll need a second one for the medical stuff when you can.
Yeah. Second one was a 6.
Okay. I'm going to say that while you are in there receiving medical care, one of the 3 crew members steps out for a little bit. The other one is focused on readjusting lighting, stepping in once the lights are up to give you like last looks on your makeup. And another one is just seemingly making notes, maybe posting some things at the same time in parallel to this, like monitoring chat kind of thing, is mostly on a device. The one who stepped out for a little while comes back and takes over some of that lighting work, so that the other one can just focus on doing last looks and making sure you're looking your best while you're getting state-sponsored treatment. And then, as soon as that is coming to a bit of a climax, there is a break-in on your coverage because there's a break-in on every device, and every device, even some of the ones that had like medical information on them before, at least those end up with a picture-in-picture. It doesn't get rid of the medical information completely, but they all have the morning news breakthrough, and you see the same message about David Rossi Day.
As I look at the David Rossi display, I'm going to have 2 feelings. Number one, there's the frustration. the frustration of trying to do something, create content, and having that get interrupted. Like this is not an act of love. This is an act of service to the community. And now this work is being interrupted by something that doesn't matter. That's all internal. And the second internal thought, kind of a sick smile crosses my face. I'm like, you stupid fuck. You absolute stupid fuck. Everyone knows you now, man. Everyone knows you, you stupid fuck. But that's all in the back of the head. In the front, I just go, good for him. Bless his heart. Good for him.
All right, so I'm gonna need 2 value tests, I think, off of that. One is gonna be good think, and I think the other one's gonna be tell no lies. So for good think, is that good or bad for value for Justin?
Good think is bad.
Yeah, I love that for a propagandist. All right, so you got to roll under guilt or sadness.
I'm gonna roll under guilt.
All right, let's do it.
My guilt is a 4. I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you fail unless you have a couple things that you can do. One is because you needed to roll under, you would need your guilt to go up by 1, which you can do if you have a traumatic memory connected to guilt. Do you?
Well, I have a traumatic memory, a new one that was formed during the interrogation. Don't have the details on that, but I do have one based on guilt, and that was my very first traumatic memory, which was having someone get vaporized.
Okay, so if you think about that in this moment, you can tell me a little bit about what happens at the level of the narrative there. You spend, mechanically speaking, that traumatic memory. It's no longer on your sheet. You bump your guilt up to 5. And you're able to then retroactively have succeeded instead of failed on this test.
Excellent. I'm going to definitely think about the guy I got vaporized. This was like the first couple of months, maybe in the first year working for the Conglomerate this close. I was scared. I was easily threatened. I was off my game because I was used to always doing things more or less the proletariat way, the prole way, which is very, when you know, but when you get in the bureaucratic system, there's a whole new rules. And I found this one guy was just an intimidating factor. I'd like to argue that it was because he had it out for me, but ultimately I think he was better than me. He got a lot of attention, and because he had a lot of attention on him, it was very easy for me to bring up his name in the right way. And then I woke up one day and found out that he had been retired, if we could call it that. And so when I see Rossi, I'm like, you're getting a lot of attention, Rossi. You're messing up, dude. Just like that guy.
I like it. So yeah, go ahead and take that traumatic memory off of your sheet, bump your guilt up to 5. And then since you now succeeded, you also are going to bump your anger or fear up by 1. Which one?
I'm going to up my anger for sure.
All right. To what? What's the new number?
It is now at a 4.
Okay. All right. The second test is tell no lies. Is that good or bad for Justin?
Tell no lies is also bad.
Okay. So with tell no lies being bad, you got to roll under anger or guilt. Which one?
I'm going to roll under guilt since that is now a 5.
Okay.
This dice seems like the number that comes after 3.
Okay. So that worked out. So you succeeded at that as well. And because you succeeded at a guilt test, anger or fear goes up. Which one?
I'm going to put up my fear.
To what?
The number after 3.
Okay. All right. So that is that. You do technically have one other act. You don't have to take them all in a row if you don't want. You could wait until other people do stuff. You also don't have to use it. if you don't want to. But do you want to do anything else?
Oh man, I think after getting my injury healed or dressed, having my crew there, getting all the content done, having it edited and timed for release and sent to print or post, I think as much if the quote says it's hard to argue when your head's in the mouth of the tiger, but I think Justin is comfortable with the mouth of the tiger and wants to get back to work immediately.
Okay, perfect. Now, does that mean you want to do the working act here, or do you want to go somewhere to go to like a different location to work from there during the work period?
Yeah,
or something else, presumably.
Yeah, no, I think if he's allowed to work outside the office once a week, yeah, he'll go someplace different to work outside.
Yeah, that's more up to you than me. But meaning like you have control over your workspace, so that is the nature of your work assignment. You also came up with your title, right? So like all that is for you to say, not for me to say. But to give you a comparable, Kian goes out and landscapes all over different parts of the city, right? What I would recommend is keeping in mind your class, right? Look at what you have narrative control over, and those are going to be the easiest places to do stuff. But within that, your workplace is also that. And if your workplace as an influencer is mobile, right, it kind of is where you are. There's a little bit of a bubble that I would accept in terms of like interpreting those rules as another player at the table. As like, okay, as long as you don't overstep the bubble, right, when you're moving through that space in terms of what you determine, yeah, go for it. Before you roll, order of operations thing. This is the first time that we've had an injury, I believe, in the game. Like I think yours was first. Somebody else has had, or two people might have had since. But this is also the first one to be healed, right? So you had a stress that was permanent until you removed that. You can now remove that stress and that injury note because you just had it looked at with insurance. So you go down from, in that second act you took, you go down from 3 stress to 2 stress. So for this last act for this, roll me a d10, please, to see how you do with your stress instead of a d6.
That's a 10.
Okay, cool. That's your morning. Who'd like to go next?
I can hop in here next. Because Cynthia also has an injury that needs to be dealt with this morning. So a lot has changed for Cynthia overnight. She wakes up this morning and really has to pull herself out of bed. Something happened to her ankle and it hurts. It's sore. Putting any weight on it is miserable. And she wears heels to work, which is even more miserable. She pulls herself out of bed. She always wakes up well before the sun makes its way over the horizon. She makes her way to the bathroom. She washes her face. She looks exhausted, and she really shouldn't because she's starting her new position today. The thing that she wanted so badly, and now it's here, and she is so ill prepared. She smooths out her hair. She picks out an outfit that she thinks would be appropriate. It's the best thing that she has right now. She hasn't had time to do any shopping. She goes into the kitchen and she makes coffee. I think as many of her mornings have gone so far, she is going to notice Howard if he's up and around.
He is, and I will remind you, is now a trusted character.
He is.
So I don't play Howard. One of y'all plays Howard. Who would like to play Howard, the husband?
Open to either one of you guys. Do it, PJ. You know you want to. Do him Scottish. All the husbands are Scottish.
I'm the husband guy. Let's go. Yeah, I'll be him.
Yeah.
Designated husband guy.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about your husband that I'm gonna be playing.
Oh, about Howard. So when Cynthia was first introduced to the story, she was fully intent on leaving Howard. The two of them, their relationship was built on love or some kind of romance, but the longer they stayed together, especially with Cynthia managing to get herself promoted to bureaucrat, Howard is also a bureaucrat, responsibility really took a toll on their relationship, and those responsibilities to the conglomerate and the work that they do pulled them apart in a lot of ways. Things became mechanical, robotic, and they haven't exactly been keeping up with the responsibility of truly starting a family. In the last session, they remedied a little bit. Cynthia, after a failed attempt at leaving him because she screwed up the divorce paperwork and submitting it, they talked a bit about their past. They reflected on when they first met. Cynthia laughed at him in a coffee shop because he tripped over himself getting his drink, and asked Howard if he would come home from work on time for once and bring her favorite flowers, which he did. And now that Cynthia has been presented with the opportunity for a promotion, the last conversation they had was suggesting they look into adopting. And that's where things left off with them.
All right.
Good morning.
Good to see you this morning.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry. You have any stress?
I do, yes.
Give me that roll before we get into it, and then please continue.
6.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I think I must have twisted my ankle or something on the way home. It feels awful. So I'm going to try to go to the doctor before I leave to work. I need to try to make it at least a little early. I got promoted.
Well, that's good. That's good. Right. Sorry. No, the promotion. Yeah. No, that's tremendous, my love. That's really, really awesome stuff.
Hopefully. I feel a little underprepared. It happened very quickly. Are you doing anything after work today? Are you going to be home on time?
I'll try. I'll try to get home on time. I have a project that's about to run out of time. I'm hitting the deadline really hard, and so I might stay late for that. And then some of the fellows are wanting to decompress a little afterwards together, so we might have plans for that. So it's gonna be. I really can't make a promise on that though.
Well, I would like to remind you that we should start looking into adoption sooner than later if it's something we want to stick to, especially with the promotion now. A lot of eyes.
Yeah, we want to do our best. Hey, listen, I want to show you something, and I think it needs your touch. And he'll reach in and pull out like a piece of paper. He'll pull out. That was a PJ error. That was a PJ error.
Wait. I want to clarify. Yeah. I want to clarify. As long as he is a bureaucrat or higher, okay, he's allowed to have paper notebooks.
Understood. So then, with that information, he will then reach in to a pocket of his dress shirt, pull out a piece of paper that's, you can tell it's been opened and closed a lot. The creases are not just folded; they're starting to kind of wear a little bit. And he opens it up, and he puts it down on the counter and slides it over to you, and he says, "I'm trying to come up with baby names. I don't know how adoption works. I don't know if we name them or if they come with names. I'm sure whatever is decided, whatever happens, it's going to be perfect. But I know more than anyone else that you are amazing at coming up with names for things, and your mind is a lot sharper than mine. So if you look at these and you don't like them, or if ideas of your own, I'd like to carry them with me, and then maybe discuss when we meet with the social worker."
Well, I am sure that they probably come with a name, but I mean, I would assume we can change it if we feel the need. If naming is an option, she looks around their house a bit, and again, there's no photos of Cynthia's family in the house. They're prole. There's only photos of Howard's family. I preferably, if we decide on bringing home a boy, would like to name him after my father. Maybe that wouldn't be ideal, but that's what I would like to do.
I think that checks out. And yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like that. In the meantime, I'm gonna try and spend some time during my lunch break to reach out to some social workers. I've been meaning to push the needle on that, and I want you to know that I'm tired as I always am, but I am really looking towards that when that day comes.
Thank you for trying. I'm sure I'll get lots of recommendations in the new office as well. I'm pretty sure I'm in the same building. I'm on a different floor now, so we'll see. Well, Howard has noticed this whole time that Cynthia's been like leaning her weight partially on the kitchen counter to keep it off of her ankle. I'm going to head to the hospital.
1 second before you do. He gets up, rushes over to the fridge, opens it up, pulls out his lunch, puts it down, pulls out a drink for himself later, puts it down, and then gets a big ice pack out. And he goes, "I hear this helps with the swelling and the pain. So good luck."
Thank you. I appreciate that. Cynthia takes it in her hand. She grabs her own lunch that she's prepared and put together. Good luck on the project. Try not to submit it late.
Thank you. I will do just that. I will not submit it late. I will turn it in on time.
And Cynthia will wave, kind of a half wave. Things are still a little weird for her in this scenario, so she doesn't hug or kiss her husband. She just gives like a... And she'll go to the hospital.
Question.
Sure.
With the interaction that the two of you just had, is that an act? I don't mean like, did you put it on? I mean mechanically. Is that deep connection? Is that extroverted romance / affection?
I think Cynthia still has some trepidations about considering her interactions with Howard as being outwardly affectionate or romantic. But I do agree that I think this would be a moment of deep connection because it's clear that they're at least trying.
So I will say, from an action economy perspective, that is your second act of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Go somewhere will be the third, which means that at the beginning of your work period, you will be getting treated, and then after that, you would need to go to work or do whatever it is you want to do. But assuming that this is deep connection, which it did feel like it was deep connection, if the table all agrees that this was a deep, vulnerable, and heartfelt conversation, because it was done with a trusted character, you'll gain 1 hope. And my vote is yes. My vote is that was vulnerable, right, and real.
I think so.
All right, perfect. So yeah, take a hope for that. Also, roll me stress.
Yes. The number that comes after 3.
Okay. In the wake of that, as you wait for your private car to come get you, you see that there are rations of Lux food that are being delivered to your home. The people who are delivering it to your home smile at you and say, "Welcome to a new day," and walk past you and directly into your home and begin just planting the food in cupboards and fridge, wherever it would go, right? And when they're done, before they're done, the morning news kicks up, and you see the announcement of David Rossi Day. Both you and Howard are aware of it, as is everyone in the conglomerate now. And then those people finish up inside just about the time that your private car pulls up. And they say, "Have a great day," and move past you without ever having introduced themselves. A driver comes out who is quite large and is dressed in the uniform of a rehabilitation officer, not a rehabilitation agent or like lower rank that you might have seen more often. This seems to be somebody a little bit more than that. And they come around and they open the door for you and they say, "Ms. Hillcroft."
Good morning. Thank you. That's really not necessary.
It is for your safety, please.
Okay. She'll climb into the backseat of the car. And what was your name?
Harold.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, you are under no obligation to have conversation with me. And closes the door for you, comes around to the driver's side and drives you to the medical space that you're going to, which can be the same medical space that Justin was in, or it can be a different one. It's
I was
entirely up to you.
kind of thinking it's the same one.
Yeah, go for it.
I think as they drive too, she is thinking about that news broadcast because Cynthia ate something in the last session. She ate a note that was written by Rossi. And she thinks about that the whole ride there. She thinks about this situation that she's found herself in, this very peculiar promotion that doesn't quite feel real. She can't really fathom the fact that she's still here. Everything feels so not nightmarish, but dreamlike in a way that is off-putting to her. It makes her stomach slightly unsettled, but she thinks about that note. "You are enough." And I think she, as like the car is pulling into this medical center, she puts her hand on the back of the driver's seat and kind of leans forward a bit, and she says, "So David Rossi Day, huh?"
Yes, it is very exciting. We are all very proud of David Rossi. David Rossi is an exemplar of what we should each strive to be. Don't you agree?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Stand-up guy.
Did you know David Rossi? Do you know David Rossi?
Not personally, but well, I feel like we all became very intimately familiar with his values from yesterday, right?
His values are our own, so we should be intimately familiar with them already.
Of course. More so now than before.
Yes, now that they have been made so explicit, so clear.
Crystal.
Isn't clarity a gift?
Absolutely.
You need to do a value test there, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
All right. Cool.
Let's see. What are we thinking?
Tell no lies feels
Oh,
like
for sure.
low-hanging fruit here.
Yeah.
But I will say that a couple others could fit. Good think feels like it could be a thing here.
Yeah,
I will say, actually, I'm so sorry. Whatever this is going to be one of two, because you mentioned that you're thinking about the note. And now you've seen this situation with David Rossi, and I'm going to need a conglomerate unity, regardless of what we do here.
Yeah.
Because you're not reporting him for having written that note.
Mm-hmm. So I'll do conglomerate unity first. I'm going to try to roll above anger, which is currently a 3. What's the meets it situation?
Does not beat it.
Okay.
But you said you need to roll over. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So you would need to use a happy memory, if you had one related to this emotion, to bring it down by 1 so that you could go over it. Otherwise, you could take a stress, increasing your stress to whatever the next step is. How much stress do you have right now?
I have 3 right now.
So you could increase it to 4 and roll a d4 on your action, which I would say would be for the next act. I don't think you've rolled for this go somewhere yet. You can still do that on the d6 because it's in the middle of that act.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take a stress, you can succeed. Or your other option is to fail. And then you'll have an emotional outburst connected to, what was the emotion you were rolling again?
Anger.
All right. So that you know, if you choose to fail, you will lower any emotion by 1 point, any emotion of your choice, and you will have to either spit it out, you swear angrily or verbally assault the others, which in this case would be Harold. Act out, you hit or kick some nearby object or physically assault someone or something. Or you hold a grudge, you blame another for your problems, you choose someone to blame, your relationship with that person is damaged, make a note of the grudge and the characters involved. Those are your available emotional outbursts.
I'm going
if you
to take a
choose to fail.
stress. I'm going to take a stress. I'm going to go for stress 4.
Okay. Go ahead and go to stress 4, and you are also going to need to roll me a d6.
Yes.
Because again, I'm saying that was from before this when you decide to take the act.
Number that comes after 3.
Okay. Copy that. Continue with the second value test.
Perfect.
Which we were saying would be either good think or tell no lies, unless you think a different one would fit better, and I agree.
I'm going to do tell no lies, and I'm going to try and roll above guilt.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Also, as a reminder to the table, it isn't just the person involved and me as Big Brother who can call value tests. Anybody who sees something at the table and thinks that a value test should be called is welcome to do that.
I succeeded. I rolled the number that comes after 3. And I'm going to increase anger to that same number for succeeding.
Okay. Copy that. So since you succeeded, which shadow emotion are you gonna? Oh, you said that's what you were bumping up.
Anger, yes, I'm bumping up.
You said that's what you're bumping up. Done. Beautiful. That is your morning. Unless there's anything else you'd like to discuss with Harold on your way to the medical facility.
I don't think so. I think that's probably good.
Okay. Last and certainly not least, what is Martin doing this morning?
As normal, Martin wakes up in his father's house. It's been his for quite a long time since he disappeared. He reaches underneath a loose floorboard to just touch the cover of 2 paper books that he still has. And I think he first thing is going to send a text message to Cheryl.
If anybody would like to play Cheryl, be thinking about that in case you respond to the text message. Go ahead, 20 word max. What do you send?
Would you be able to water the plants today? I made a loaf of bread for us.
Cheryl, text back. Of course, always happy to help.
Okay.
I think that's all I think that's all that Cheryl says.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. And I'm gonna write a letter and hide it in the usual place.
Okay, so that is going. And I'm sorry, remind me. Do you have any stress?
No.
Beautiful. So yeah, you do that. It is 2 actions though. One would be to write the letter, and then the other would be to hide something, and that's going to end your morning.
Okay.
Uh, perfect. All right. So you go ahead and do that. Do you want to describe anything about the letter?
In our game and our journey that we've been going through together, Cheryl's character has been taking on this despotic ruler for quite some time, and recently was able to defeat him as well as like several of their generals. And it's now what he writes is discussing the celebration. Part of it is talking about the people at the very top being punished for their actions. And at the very bottom, it discusses an interaction between what I think above table all of us would describe as like a DMPC. And Cheryl's character finally getting together and describing in very vivid detail a kiss the two of them experienced together. And at the very last sentence, crossed out and rewritten several times, are the words, "the same way that I would like to kiss you."
Do you want to describe anything about hiding it?
Yes. The way that we have been hiding the note is, one of those like key rocks. We have one of those from like I would say the olden days now. That we have been hiding this small roll of paper in, that we've been continuously writing and erasing and writing and erasing over and over again. And actually the bread is how they've been erasing it as it's been getting more and more full. He puts the roll in the potted plant and makes it look as if he is just simply engaging with and interacting with it however positively that he can.
Okay. Love that. That does end your morning. In your case, you actually hear the morning broadcast at the end of doing that. So you have just hidden this effectively. The morning broadcast breaks in. You hear it coming from all of the homes near you, from any devices that you have on your person, including the one that is attached to you at all times. And you see the holograms come up. You're outside, maybe not in front of you, but in the homes that have like open curtains and things like that around you that you'd have a vantage point on, you see David Rossi, David Rossi, David Rossi, David Rossi pop up there as you learn about David Rossi Day.
Just for flavor, can I send a very quick text back to Cheryl that says thank you, happy David Rossi Day?
I will allow it at a level of flavor. I will say rules is written. I think I'm supposed to tell you no, but it's fine. You can do that. Yeah. All right. So that is your morning. It is everyone's mornings. You have now entered your work period. You're welcome to do anything you'd like in any order. I will remind you, you do not have to go to work. I will know if you don't. You can do up to 6 acts. You don't have to do 6. If you befriend, I will stop with these reminders soon, but we're still in the first half of the campaign. If you befriend or wind down during a work period, not necessarily at your workplace, but during a work period, it is a thought crime. And anything else tantamount to befriending, you should consider similarly, right? Up to 6 acts, don't have to take all 6 acts. You have full narrative control. There is no resolution mechanic as long as you can describe it happening realistically within 10 minutes and it relates to a free act, or if you have the hopes to spend a class act, you just do it and it happens. And it is with you.
Hate to go in order again, but I have had all this lovely time to think about what I want to do. So, Kian goes to Business Park, square root of 16, and will hide the note in the place where he hides his notes, which is in a little place, in a little hidey hole within some shrubberies. He will then text Iris back. Did you know that it's David Rossi Day? ? Hooray! Just as a way to distract.
Those are 2 acts, and you have stress, right?
Yeah. So 6 on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
5 on the second one.
Okay. As you wait for a reply on that, you see a neighbor of yours who you recognize, who you've said hi to in passing, who you did not realize would be in this entirely different part of town, come up to you in the middle of work and ask you, hey, sorry, I was just passing by and I wanted to check. Are you okay?
Of course.
Orlando.
Yeah. We live next to each other, or close, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just in a unit over. You're Kian, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay. I heard that you might be caught up in some bad stuff. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. Just working.
Yeah.
What are you doing over here?
Oh, I work around here. I work in points over at what actually is Cynthia's building. I work over there. I do like I shuttle stuff between floors mostly. Sometimes I do a little bit of maintenance, because I've got those skills. Are you good at maintenance?
Not really, unless it has to do with landscaping. That's kind of all I'm good at.
Okay. Well, if you're ever looking to do something else, we got to look out for each other here in the Conglomerate, right? So I'm here and just down the hall kind of from you. So
Yeah.
you sure you're
Yes.
okay?
I mean, how could anybody be bad on David Rossi Day?
All right. Yeah, you're right. It's a wonderful day. We celebrate our the incredible life that the conglomerate has given us, right? So that is enough to overshadow any other concerns. Thank you for the reminder of that. I really appreciate it. Okay. Well, if you need anything, maybe I stop by the pub that's just like around the corner from like our
Oh,
units.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If you after work don't have anything else to do, we have like a trivia night tonight.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, if there's room, I, I could come. I'm not good at trivia, but I'm really good at clapping. So if you want company,
I will always take company that will cheer me on. I think that I need to find a way to brush up on David Rossi trivia somehow. I would imagine it being David Rossi Day that's going to come up.
yeah. Oh no, you're right. I also need to brush up on David Rossi trivia.
Well, I mean, so I think there's going to be like more info available throughout the day as part of the celebration. So maybe like during lunch, you could look stuff
Yeah,
up, and then if you want to meet me at the pub after work, we could
yeah,
help
yeah,
each
yeah.
other out. You know, I mean, it's some fast food rations, right? That
Of course,
they're going to be offering
of
up,
course, of
which is
course.
great. You know, because you can never have enough of that, right?
What's your favorite? Mine is the oatmeal.
So the oatmeal's great. I'm a big fan of the bread.
Have you ever put the oatmeal on the bread and made an oatmeal sandwich?
So you could bring the oatmeal. I could bring the bread. We could be at trivia night, and we could try it.
That sounds like a great plan. Yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, or Orlando Kian, right?
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're good
yeah,
and that we got to chat. I gotta get back to work, but maybe
yeah,
tonight.
yeah. Actually, I'll walk over with you because the next thing I was going to do was go somewhere, which was to Cynthia's building to do landscaping over there.
That's that is such a it's a David Rossi Day miracle, right? It's a coincidence.
it's
Uh,
it's wild that you're here. I never really see anybody from our over here. It's kind of I don't know, kind of solitary. So
do you not like it being solitary?
it's not bad. You know, but it's also nice to talk to people. So others who also appreciate what the conglomerate does for us, and talk about things like that.
Yeah, true patriots, right?
Exactly,
Who
exactly.
understand that East Asian scum needs to be eradicated from the face of the planet.
Yeah, right. Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Kind of
that's
chatting
great.
as we walk.
Yeah. As we go. I need another stress roll from the go somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
6. I'm never rolling a different die. That's the one.
All right. So yeah, you get to Cynthia's building. So Cynthia and actually also from a like a narrative control level thing. Like Cynthia, you have primary control over what your building is like and
Mhm.
all that stuff. But because this is clearly like an area that would have shared narrative control between bureaucrats and and Conglomerate officials. PJ, if you want to throw in any thoughts, you're welcome to as well on the space. You don't have to, and like not Cynthia's specific workspace so much, but more like the building or what the area is like, that part of town, that kind of.
What kind of corporate bullshit landscaping is there?
Right.
Well, the interior of the building, which is what we've mostly seen so far, it's a very large multi-story building that has large windows that overlook everything. So it's one of those buildings where on the ground floor, the front part of the building is all window. So I imagine the outside of it is probably a lot of shrubbery. I don't think it's anything like particularly fancy, or I think it's all very rigid in that sense. PJ, if you have any ideas to flesh it out too.
Yeah, so my immediate thought, just taking from the Big Brother energy of this game, I see this being brutalist. I see it being a maybe luxurious, maybe even a facade, but like maybe like 10 feet above this wonderful glass front, everything is harsh stone, concrete, square edges, very oppressive, and maybe even with some slanting angles to give it like the appearance of something unique. But ultimately, it's almost more of a bunker than it is a corporate building.
Kian waves off his neighbor, wishes him well in his work day. And then is going to start he's going to search for something. He's going to search for dandelions, so he is pulling weeds and everything like that, but specifically he's looking for dandelions. Which I would think, because it's his job, like he is removing the color and everything from these shrubs. I would think it's fairly possible because dandelions are everywhere always. And I'll do my stress as well.
Yeah, sounds great.
9, baby. All right. So then for searching for something, if it's possible, it's a D6.
Yeah.
If it's 1, I find, remind me of how
if it's 1,
how that works.
Yeah. So if it's 1, you find exactly what you're looking for. If it's a 2 or a 3, you get something that could be converted into what you're looking for, is what the text says. We can interpret that in this situation however it makes sense. If it's a 6, that's bad news for you, and if it's anything else, you just don't find anything.
Well, hey, good news for you, Danny. It was a 6. So
cool. All right. You know how you said that you weren't going to roll a different die because it kept on rolling not the 1, not the fumble on your stress die, and now it gave you a 6.
It's a different one. It's a D6, not a D10.
Not a D10. Copy. Fair enough. So something goes wrong. Is formally what the text says here, which means. Describe specifically what you're doing.
I'm not I'm acting like I'm pruning, but I'm doing a lot of like searching and not pruning because I'm looking specifically for dandelions. So actually, I think perhaps what happens is I do find a dandelion and I am seen putting it not in the compost, but into a pocket.
1,000%. I think
Yes.
as you pocket it, a couple of things happen. One is you get a device alert that shows up on like a heads up display for you and says, report to the security desk at the closest building for an audit. And the second thing that happens is you see Orlando, who you split away from, right? Across sort of like I think what I'm seeing in my mind, if I'm picturing this correctly in accordance with what you all described, like a plaza area, let's say, like
Mhm.
some sort of an open area between buildings. Across that, you see Orlando looking in your direction, and Orlando screams. It's not clear that Orlando's screaming at you. You just see Orlando scream, looking in your direction. And yeah, that's it for right now.
Great. Well, things are bad. I'm gonna spit the pill out into the bushes and hide something because I don't want that
Okay.
in my mouth.
Okay. So that is done.
And I rolled a 5 on my stress for that. And then I'm gonna go to the nearest security desk for an audit.
Okay. Would you say, I need to ask this part
Yeah.
to make sure that this makes sense. Would you say, Anna, that Cynthia has made it there already and is in the building?
I think so. Yeah, she was very quick at the doctor's office, certainly. And this being her first official day in her new position would have been quick to make it over here on time.
Okay, so give me 2 stress rolls, right? One at your current stress level coming in before you get rid of the injury, and the other 1 stress level below that after you got rid of the injury, and that's going to be for getting the injury looked at and then for going somewhere to go
Okay.
to work.
Current stress roll was a 3. And then with stress down, that is a 2.
Okay. When you arrive at work, you receive a notification as well that says accompany rehabilitation specialist Harold to supervise and review his work on a security assessment. And Harold receives something at the same time and turns to you and says, would you like me to show you the way?
That would be great. Thank you.
And Harold takes you through a labyrinthine set of hallways. You go through one elevator, you go across a hallway, you go down another elevator. You go up and down 5 or 6 times. It isn't clear to you what floor you're on at this point. There are no windows. You've gone through unmarked doorways half a dozen times. And when you do that, you find yourself with in a room that is just a concrete block of a room, has a metal table, and there's one chair on one side. There is one chair on another side. There's not a third chair. And Kian, did you go directly to that building? Great.
Yeah.
You and you already rolled for go somewhere to go into the to go report there?
I didn't.
Like the stress? Okay.
7.
Okay. You make your way into the building and then do not remember how you ended up in this room. And you're in this room. And Harold looks over at you, Cynthia, and looks at the chair and back at you and waits.
Modest decorating. I am a fan. And she'll sit in the chair.
He saddles up behind you, fairly close. You can feel his presence there. You're already seated in the other chair. Well, do you know why you're here?
Not really. I was pulling weeds and Kian holds up the dandelion.
Did you just wander in here with a dandelion in your hands, or were you given instructions?
I was told to come in here for an audit. And I was holding a dandelion when I got the instruction.
Do you know who either of us is?
No.
Do you know why you are being audited?
No, I just got the message.
Recount your day up until the moment that you came here backwards in order.
Backwards in order. I was pulling dandelion weeds as my job. One of my neighbors who works in this building saw me. We were speaking, just making plans to go to a pub during leisure time. I was checking on other work across the way in Business Park 2+2, and I was at home and I had breakfast and I woke up. I believe that's an order.
That is everything?
I was reading a comic book after I woke up.
What was the comic book about?
It was about the superhero this is Eli. I'm trying to think of a conglomerate superhero name.
Oh God.
Challenge. That's a perfect name. The Vox Populi. That is not me. Fully audience did not come up with that. Thank you, PJ. Is when the Vox Populi was triumphing over East Asia incursion. That it was I believe it's it's number 32.
Do you have it on you now?
No, it's at home.
Above table. Do you have it on you now?
No, I hid the note.
You hid the note.
I don't have it on me, baby.
Yeah. Cool. Understood. Would you be able to retrieve it and bring it to us if we would like to review it?
Yes. I will say that there are some pages missing because I use it to help feed compost. It's good for plants. It recycling.
Do you have the proper paperwork to do that?
I have the proper paperwork to do my job as a landscaper and to have the comic books.
So you do not have the proper paperwork to use the comic books as compost?
If that is specific, then no.
Would you be able to retrieve the proper paperwork and file it appropriately and in a timely manner?
Yes. My apologies. It was an oversight on my part. I did not realize it was not part of my purview.
And what was your name again?
Kian Jones.
Thank you, Kian.
You receive a heads up notification, Cynthia, that says, what do you recommend is done with the subject?
I think before Cynthia responds, Kian, she looks at you with this cold, almost pleading eye contact. And she says, you mentioned that you were outside with one of your coworkers, a neighbor of yours. Did you observe any strange behaviors or reactions from them while you two were speaking?
You receive back just nothing as far as like looks. There's no anxiety. There's no anything, there is a blankness and a flatness.
I need you to roll me silence as violence, please, as a personal value test. There.
I wasn't being silent. I was about to speak. I'm saying they're
Copy.
numb. This is their
Okay,
numbness.
perfect. Copy.
This
Go
is
ahead.
yeah, this is their numbness. So
Yeah.
what they do say. So with that kind of flatness, we were both surprised to see a neighbor in this part of town. And he asked if I was doing all right.
Did he say why he came up to you to ask if you were doing all right?
He was surprised to see me on this side of town. And then, as I mentioned, we made plans to meet at a pub close to our domicile during leisure hour.
That is the only reason that was mentioned.
It's the only reason that was mentioned.
Were you doing anything that would alarm your coworker?
I can't speak for what would alarm my. We're not coworkers. My neighbor. I can't speak to what would alarm him. But again, my apologies. It is not typical for those of us with our stature to run into each other in this area with such prestige.
Do you make it a habit of having social interactions during work time?
No. Again, this was quite a surprise.
Did you report the social interaction during work time prior to us picking you up?
No, as I was about to start with the landscaping, holding a dandelion.
I do need a tell no lies because
Yeah. Tell no lies is good for me. So anger or guilt. I'm gonna try to roll over anger, which is a 2. That is so cocked. Hold on. 4.
Okay. Okay. You are left.
I bumped up guilt, by the way. So my guilt is up to 5.
Thank you. You are left in silence for a beat as Harold says nothing, and on your heads-up display, so only visible to you, Cynthia, it says, test the subject on the existence of interrogations. If they believe interrogations exist, report that for further study.
Before...
I will remind you all, by the way, you can take acts in the middle of what we're doing.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about here. Kian, if I may use your first name.
Of course.
You mentioned that you haven't been audited before, is that correct? Or infrequently audited?
I have not been audited before, no.
And have you... Cynthia's being very careful with her words here. Have you ever been in a situation similar to this one before? Sitting across from an official, being evasive about questions being asked about your day-to-day activities?
No. I have not been in a situation where I've been in a room with an official.
Do you find this line of questioning necessary?
Who am I to question what the conglomerate needs of me?
That does not answer my question, Kian. Do you find this line of questioning necessary?
Mm, my answer is what I think either way isn't important. So, if you believe that it's important, it is.
It's not about what I believe, Kian.
If it's what the conglomerate believes is important, then it is.
Precisely. Our thoughts, individually, don't matter. What matters is the unity of the conglomerate, which is why I'm asking you if you believe that this line of questioning is necessary and if you've ever experienced it before. Kian, I recommend that you file the proper paperwork to continue making your compost immediately, and until you do so, cease tearing pages from your books to feed it. Understood?
Understood?
And if we do have follow-up questions or we request your copy of the comic book that you have been reading, you are willing to provide that?
Of course.
One final thing, if I may, Miss Hillcroft. The dandelion, please.
Of course. There you go.
Grinds it up in his hand and just on the floor. Return to work if you are done with them, Miss Hillcroft.
Cynthia looks up at Harold for a moment and nods. She looks at Kian, and I'd like to use an act. It is one of my conglomerate official acts, actually. I'm going to spend a hope to give hope to Kian. And Cynthia makes eye contact with you again, Kian. This time it's a bit different than how she looked at you before. Her eyebrows are more relaxed. Her shoulders are a bit more relaxed than before, though you can tell that she is still very rigid. And she says, do what you need to do immediately. Understood? And do cease leisurely conversations during the workday.
I think the term is smizing. There's a slight quirk in the lips, and he nods. Of course.
Thank you. What neighborhood did you say that you grew up in again? Or live in currently?
Yeah, no, currently I'm in Edgewater.
It's where my mother grew up. You may return to work.
Thank you.
You are shown an open door.
I get up and I walk out, hoping I can find my way back.
You don't remember what happens. You come back to yourself in front of the area that you were working in front of when you received the message. While and we can come back to you to finish your work stuff if you want. Before then, what you hear, Cynthia, is a scuffling sound outside of the room, and Harold looks to you and says, "Good first day."
The jitters, you know?
I do. Where would you like to go next?
Well, do I have an office now, or am I back to a desk surrounded by other people and entryways?
No, you have your own office executive assistant. You are able to determine the training replacement of your who would take over the duties that you were in charge of until yesterday, and you are able to vet your team. You also do have some work waiting for you.
Of
alongside
course.
what you have done this morning.
As expected. I already have a pick for my replacement trainee, so if you don't mind showing me the way.
Absolutely. And you go through, again, a bit of a labyrinthine set of passages, ups and downs on different elevators. And then you go far up to about 2/3 the height of this building, finding yourself quite a bit higher up than the floor that you worked on before. And you find yourself with a corner office with a view of, even within this brutalist architecture, a view of the cityscape around you on both sides of this corner. And the rest of this first work period is yours for both of you, and for anybody else who would like to start to describe what they want to do with work as well.
I just had one last act to do, which is going to be work. So I'll go ahead and roll my stress for that.
Okay.
5.
Okay. You do see Orlando down there, looking more disheveled than before, moving into Cynthia's building, and then disappearing.
Okay.
Cynthia?
Yes, so I used one act during Kian's audit. And I think now she is sort of gaining her composure in this new place. I think just as the elevator door starts to open to the floor, she kind of like a small cheeky smile tugs at the corner of her mouth, and she kind of nudges Harold a little bit, and she says, "Bad time to realize that heights give me a stomach ache, right?"
Is there an act that you're trying to go for with that?
I think it's just an undefined act. I don't think she's really trying to befriend this guy. She's just making chatter. it's like a bit of prattle.
Copy that. Just checking, because obviously, if it is an act, we have to resolve the stuff. Looks over at you and says, "First days are difficult. Would it be appropriate for me to provide you with an unsolicited opinion?"
Go for it.
You handled yourself admirably.
She gives a proper smile and she nods, and she says, "Have to be quick on your feet."
That is the job. I can see why they trusted you.
Well, here's to potential, right?
Here's to potential. And Conglomerate above all.
Conglomerate above all.
I can leave you to it here. I will be stationed outside. I am reachable via our devices anytime that you need me. I will stay close for the sake of your security, but I do not want to impose upon you.
Nothing imposing about having somebody close by, and I'm used to having somebody near. If you don't mind me asking, because I'm a little on the fly with the situation, Harold, where should I phone in my replacement? I assume the people downstairs will take care of it. I assume she won't have to come all the way up here, but I do have my pick already. If there's someone I should speak to directly or send an email.
If you'd like, I can ensure that this person is brought up to you so that you can brief them directly. If you'd like, if you prefer to do it over a teleconference, we can set that up for you.
Certainly. She works at the same desk I did. I was training her. Her name's Ariana.
All right. Would you prefer we bring her up, or?
Yes, bring her up, please.
Okay. Is there anyone else you would like to speak with today?
At the moment, none come to mind. I think I'll just be settling myself in and getting started on whatever work they've put in front of me.
Okay. From a mechanical perspective above table, I believe that is going to constitute an act in terms of notice someone to bring Ariana into the
Yes,
scene.
I would agree.
Anybody else who would like can play Ariana, and I do need a stress roll off of that act.
You got it. 6.
Okay. So that is that. Ariana is introduced to the scene. Austin, how do you feel about playing Ariana?
Yeah, I'd love to. Can you tell me a bit about her?
Sure. Ariana is 29. She's pretty new to this building, and Cynthia has been training her for a while with the intent of her being her replacement if Cynthia was able to get a promotion, which she has. She is a bit scatterbrained, but she's a hard worker and a quick learner.
All right, sounds good. You wanted to see me, ma'am?
You don't have to be so formal with me, Ariana. It's funny, now that I'm up here, the desk is big enough that both of us probably could fit, right?
I suppose, yeah.
So, you're going to be taking over my old job completely.
Is this official, or is this? Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you. My goodness, thank you.
You still remember everything I said about making calls, the appropriate times that people should be in and out of the building for meetings, all of the Excel sheets, all of the files. You remember how to catalog everything appropriately?
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
Good.
I know how I can be. I made a number of reference sheets along the way, so everything should be well handled. Are you? I'm not gonna. I shouldn't ask if you're sure about this. I should just say thank you.
I am very sure, Ariana. Trust me, after you weren't in yesterday, but the entire building was audited, and I spoke very highly of you in your absence. So everybody will be looking at you, which will be a lot of pressure, but you're going to do great, okay? I promise.
Thank you. Will I have to be audited beforehand, or sounds like everyone was but me?
Uh, if they haven't approached you yet, I think you're in the clear.
Well, that's a relief. Thank you. I'm gonna go pack up my desk.
It's your desk now.
I think Ariana doesn't want to give you a hug, just because I think that would be too much. But just like lightly like taps you on the arm, um, as they speed walk away.
um, Cynthia has sort of a full smile. She's a little torn. I think the experience of auditing Kian and having a tender moment with Ariana has her a bit frazzled in the way of being pulled in two different directions. But she's trying to balance and maintain things the best that she can. Um, not to put a lot of work on you, Austin, but I have a couple of acts left I can do. And I actually want to see Danny because I believe she was also a CO. If I can notice Joan on this floor.
You can. You can notice Joan on this floor. I do have a question for you
Sure.
first. You noted that Ariana wasn't in the office when the audit took place. You just promoted Ariana into the position you held until yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
When you were audited yesterday, you protected Ariana by not putting her in a position where she was not ready to do what was expected of her. And now she has more responsibility than she would have when you decided not to mention during your interrogation who the weakest link was. When you decided twice yesterday to bury the reality of that. But now there's more responsibility on her shoulders. And at the same time, it sounds like Ariana wasn't audited and no one has reached out to her yet. Why is that? Do you need to take a value test?
I think so. I think for her not being audited, yes. However, Ariana is not the weak link that Cynthia was referencing.
No, but I do recall, and please correct me if I'm misremembering, that part of why Cynthia did not want to name the weak link was because then Ariana would have to take over for the weak link. And Ariana, if Ariana was not ready yet for that, would then be at greater risk. So my recollection of it, as you described it, was that Cynthia took an additional risk to protect Ariana from the possibility of failing by being placed in too early.
Yes. But now I think Cynthia is left in a position where the only person who knows how to work in the same flow that she does is Ariana. And she knows that the expectation after the audit is somebody who can be meticulous in the way that she is and was. And Ariana is the only person who can adapt that behavior because she learned it from Cynthia and not from somebody else in the office.
And Ariana knows that, right? Interesting that she wasn't in the office and doesn't seem to have been audited on the day that everyone else was. And now that you are out of the way through promotion, gets to take on the job that she's the only other person qualified to take on that floor. And you promoted her just now. So I think the value test should be generosity is rewarded.
Sure.
What is that for you, good or bad?
That is good for me.
Okay. So roll over fear or apathy. Which one?
I'm going to try to roll over apathy, which is a 5. They're both a 5. So.
And you're at stress level?
I'm at stress level 3 currently.
That was after you brought down the stress from treating the injury?
Correct. I was at stress 4 before. Oh shit! I rolled a 6 on the die.
Okay. So you succeed. That wasn't what I expected.
Me either.
All right. So,
me either at all.
Okay, what do you bump up?
My despair is going up to 6.
Okay.
So I will take a traumatic memory.
This might inform, but maybe not. Tell me after this what your traumatic memory is. You receive a message stating that let me put it this way. This will not cost you an act to deal with. You're at your desk. You realize that there is a note on your desk. You don't remember seeing it when you walked in. You would suspect that if your memory is accurate, maybe it's not, that it would have had to have been Harold or Ariana who left it there, because those are the only people who've come in since you came in. It won't cost you an act to look at it. And I will remind you here that you can, if it's something that you're worried about, you always have the opportunity to report notes as soon as you find them. Would you like to look at it?
Yeah.
It is scrawled in a form of like a handwriting that you don't recognize, and it says, "Ariana is thought police. Do not trust her."
Fuck.
What do you do with the note?
I really can't make it a habit to just eat paper every time I find it. Though I am tempted.
No one's watching. You're in a big office. Just eat it.
Oh, Cynthia, what a quirk that would be for you to inherit, or develop rather. Oh man. Really need to stop making it a habit to eat paper, but fuck, I'm tempted. See, on a character level, I'm torn because Cynthia does not like to rat people out, and Anna wants to report it. But Cynthia, in the back of her mind, knowing that Ariana wouldn't say this about herself, Harold was the only other person who's in here. So if she reports this, it could fall back on Harold. And he seems all right. So she's so torn. And she looks at this. And she clenches her fists at her desk as she's sort of trying to make it look as though she's just getting a lay of the land and looking at all of the papers that have been put on her desk. And fuck, Danny, fuck you.
Fully roll conglomerate loyalty just for how long it's taking you to answer this
I
question.
know.
Yeah,
I
I thank you. Yes, very good. Please
Oh
do
my
roll conglomerate
God.
loyalty, and let's see how that goes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to roll above anger, which is currently 2 + 2. And I failed it, which is beautiful.
You want to take a stress to succeed, or you want to fail?
I think I'm gonna fail.
Okay. What was the emotion again?
Anger.
Okay. Same ones I mentioned before. So you swear angrily. You're by yourself, so you can't verbally assault others. Although I suppose you could swear angrily about the others who might be involved in this.
Yeah.
You hit or kick some nearby object, or physically assault someone, something.
Mhm.
Or you hold a grudge. You blame another for your problems. Choose someone to blame. Your relationship with that person is damaged. Make a note of the grudge and of the characters involved.
I think clenching her fist and so torn about what to do. It is her first day in this position. Cynthia, like, reflexively kicks the little metal trash can that's under her new desk.
All right. What are you going to do with the note?
The way the thing in the front of my brain is eat it is crazy.
That would be hide something.
It would be.
That's what we did last time.
It would be. I think she's going to report it.
How?
Is there, just asking kind of general, slightly above table, in this part of the building, is there a location in which conglomerate officials would report suspicious activity in their private offices?
Yeah, absolutely. You know that with your interface, even before you were promoted, it is very easy to report things. You are actually just able to go into your Universe interface and select an option to report a thought crime, and it walks you through steps. Now that you are a conglomerate official, you have premium access to reporting, which is concierge AI services and round the clock priority access to all, like, the full suite of reporting capabilities.
Yeah, I think she taps into that and verbalizes or sends out a text signal that is a request. My name is Cynthia Hillcroft. And I need to report suspicious activity that I found in my office this morning upon arriving to work.
Okay, this feels like text message, voice call, or Universe meeting to me, but what do you think?
I would say Udoverse meeting for this one.
Okay, perfect. You see a concierge AI sort of symbol come up in front of you in your heads-up display that just pulses with light whenever it speaks to you, and it says, "What would you like to report today?"
As Cynthia is like using this AI, she sort of like has her temple resting against her hand, and she says, "There was a note left on the desk of my office as I began moving in.
What is the nature of the note?
The note is claiming an individual to be thought police."
You understand that thought police are a fiction constructed by enemies of the state, and that the state does not engage in a practice of policing the thoughts of anyone within the conglomerate, correct?
Correct. That is why I find it necessary to report the note as written.
Understood. Who is the individual identified?
The individual with allegations made against them is named Ariana.
What is the nature of your relationship to this person, if any?
We work in the same building.
Do you know who left the note?
I do not.
Do you suspect who left the note?
As the note was here, as I began unpacking my work materials, I do not have any named individual who I could suspect for leaving this note. Although I previously worked on the first floor, which is where this particular coworker also works.
Understood. Are you able to hand the note off to a rehabilitation specialist?
I can.
Please hand the note off to a rehabilitation specialist, provide them with the confirmation number provided to you in your heads-up display, and have a great day. And the conversation closes.
Okay. I, having the confirmation number, that being done, Cynthia will take the note to the rehabilitation official.
Harold is the rehabilitation specialist that is assigned to you. Do you call him into your office or look for him outside?
I'll call him up. Yeah.
Okay. He enters and he says, "What can I do to assist you, Miss Hillcroft?"
As I was unpacking my work materials, I found this. She hands him the note. I found this on my desk.
He looks at it and he looks at you and he says, "Have you reported this?"
Indeed, I just finished up a Unoverse meeting, and she fetches the confirmation number and reads it off to him. 276153.
Puts that in. Are you sure it's 153?
153, yes.
All right. Please hand it over.
Her hand is out.
Did you provide any information on who may have left this here?
I am unsure of who could have left it. I know that Ariana and I both worked together on the first floor of the building, and I can't imagine that anybody on any of the upper floors would know her by her name at all, especially her first name. So,
All right. Anything else that you need to share with me?
not at present. This is it.
Above table, do you feel like you need to take a value test over anything right now?
I think she's being pretty on track with everything at the moment.
Cool. He takes it and he says, "Thank you for doing the right thing. Conglomerate above all."
Conglomerate above all.
Is that everything you need from me right now?
That is everything I need from you right now. I'm going to get to work now.
I will review security footage for this area. I will review, if you will allow me access, all of the security monitoring that is happening around the clock via your devices to see if there's anything unusual that took place in this room while you were here that you may not have been aware of. And we will double our security efforts to ensure that no one is entering or exiting your presence without official consent.
I appreciate that, Harold.
All right. I will be outside. And Harold takes the note, folds it up, puts it into a slip, closes up the slip, puts it in a jacket pocket, goes outside, and you are alone.
Cynthia's going to work. I'm going to end this phase, and she's going to get to work.
Stress roll.
Yes. 3.
Okay. Who's next? And again, y'all can mix stuff up if you want. Go in mixed up orders, decide to be in the same area, whatever you want to do.
Well, for one thing, I got to go to work. I didn't actually do that in my morning. Do I have to roll for that?
No, you don't have to roll to do anything. How much? You said you have no stress, right?
Somehow. In the game, at least.
In the game. I believe that you wound down to get yourself, because you're a prole, from what I remember, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you start with 1 stress. So
Oh,
if
yeah,
I'm remembering correctly, you wound down. And that, but I think if you wound down in your last session, that's how you might have gotten to 0 stress.
Okay.
On your sheet. Yeah. So you're at 0 stress. Even if you had 1 stress, you see there's no die there. So you only have to roll stress against acts if it's 2 or more. Other than that, generally speaking, you don't roll for anything. Every act that you take, it just happens. Mm-hmm. And then if you have to roll for anything other than stress, it would be because a value test comes up, and that's not resolution. It's just a question of how well you mask in that moment, what you need to mask.
Okay. I'm trying to think of things that I actually want to do. I have a very, very weird and crazy idea. This game, hopefully, if Cheryl accepts my advances, we will no longer have to limit ourselves to just the plain basic conversation that we have in the paper that we have. That doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve something more, I suppose.
A bit of potential mechanical insight that could relate to that. If you want the mechanics to reflect the growth in that relationship, I will say, because we're still early on in the campaign, anything that you do in the world of befriending, deep connection, extroverted romance affection, or family romance affection during work periods would be thought crimes because they're not work. But we get to leisure. But there's a lunch break also where you have up to 3 acts. There's leisure after the second work period, and that is up to 6 acts. You could theoretically meet up with Cheryl then and do any of those things. They wouldn't be considered a thought crime. Cheryl would be, you wouldn't need to befriend Cheryl because Cheryl's already your friend. But you could, let's say, take extroverted romance affection, do 3 value tests, see if they go well. You could promote Cheryl from friend to family. And that could be a way of mechanically reflecting, for example, the interest that you brought up.
Yeah, of course. I think I don't know how to end the story. And I think that's what I meant more in terms of like the story deserves like something good.
Copy. Understood.
There's so little that we can be actually like inspired by, just given everything in our world. I'm almost kind of thinking, could I do find evidence to see if I could find anything in the library that speaks even partially neutrally about East Asia or West Asia?
Sure, absolutely. You can first read out loud find evidence, the full text of it, please.
Let me. I'm just trying to find it. Ironically.
No worries. It'll be. I'm going to see if I can help you find it here real quick. It is a prole act. Find evidence is on page 88. It costs 2 hope. It is a resistance act, and you're looking for proof of a thought crime incriminating someone else, is the nature of find evidence. So if we want to try to contextualize what you're looking for there, you would be looking for evidence that someone else has written something or recorded something positive about East Asia, which Oceania is at war with. You would be able to ascribe that to someone specific. It could be trusted character. It could be a resistance character. It could be a stranger.
Okay. This actually doesn't sound like something that I think would go very far. I would like to try and notice my boss, Donovan.
All right, and that is a trusted character. So who would like to play Donovan?
I think I'd be happy to step up and do that.
Perfect.
All right. Donovan is the head of the library in the archive. He is 46 years old and he is a prole. He's usually a rather dour man, very unreadable face. It's been quite difficult for any sort of conversation or anything else. And I feel like I'm gonna like try and plumb to see if there's any sort of interest that he would have in a similar type of like in a similar type of game.
Okay. And this is, sorry, my brain is a little fried today. This is happening like at work. Yeah, that's one of those days. Okay, at work. Got it. Okay. Cool.
right. Donovan, do you mind if I ask you a few questions about something? I was just a bit curious.
Go right ahead. You see him working on something, kind of half paying attention.
Okay. Well, the field trip to the library is going to be happening rather soon, and I suppose I wanted to know what exactly it was that you would prefer I hide to not frighten the children as they are here. In particular, we did previously have a children's section with a number of stories, and I wanted to know if there were any that you found to be particularly insightful.
As far as stories to keep, I believe, and I've been told that the one with the fish and the scales, one is to be kept. I think the message is on board, and we are good with that. Look for anything that might be a little too. I guess the correct term would be against the better interest. And everything else, I trust your judgments. Whatever you choose, that's your choice.
The story of the fish and the scales, you found this to be particularly insightful?
Yes. Story about a fish has unique scales. Everyone wants one, so they share their scales with the community. Everyone's happy. Everyone's feeling pretty. Everyone's all part of the same blessings and gifts. This could be good.
Would you take one?
Would I take a scale?
Yes.
No. If it was offered, sure. I'm doing a lot of work. You kind of just see him giving up. He goes, "Yeah, if someone offers me a scale, sure. Why would I say no to a free scale?"
Good to know.
Did you take the scale?
I think I would. I think I have. But
Okay.
But I think I'd also like to be the person who could provide the scales as well.
Well, that's the great thing about the Conglomerate. They have the scales. And if we're lucky, we get them.
Very true. I would
work.
like. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I would like to try and do a deep connection roll.
Yeah, I mean, that's just up to the table. I think with what you just did, it was a deep connection. You don't have any stress, and it's really now up to everybody at the table, not just me, to determine, did that feel like it was authentically a deep and vulnerable conversation?
Yeah. I think so.
I think so as well.
I agree. How did the two of you who were in it feel?
I mean, I think Donovan is struggling to determine if this is a deep moment or a moment of security concern. But I think it's deep enough, as deep as he can allow himself at work. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel the same way. I think it's almost like he's trying to establish a very similar kind of connection that he has with Cheryl, just maybe not like romantic, and just have that sort of be like another person he can like make a story with.
Okay. I think that makes sense. Since this is during work time, I understand that the deep connection maybe didn't go as deep as it could have, but I still think that overall you all had an honest conversation. So my vote continues to be yes, which means you'd be able to take one hope from that, Austin, for your character. So please add a hope to your sheet.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Listen, you were giving Donovan everything. Donovan was giving you nothing.
I mean,
But hey, that's still a vulnerable conversation, right? Like,
Yeah.
is the reality of that. Yeah.
like in a world where, you know, your boss is in charge of media control, and if he does it wrong, he's dead, and if you do it wrong, you're both dead. Like, yeah, he's probably trying to keep you at arm's length to protect you, probably.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I never said that Martin was smart.
Fair enough. I will say, are there any other acts that Martin would like to take before the end of this work period?
No, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna just get to work.
Okay, great. Since you don't have any stress, you don't have to roll about anything with that. You get to work, and that's the rest of your work period. What's up with Justin during this work period?
Great question. So I believe he has been inspired. You know, take the thing you hate and find a way to make it into something you love. I think he's been inspired by David Rossi Day, and he is going to be working on a presentation to basically up this David Rossi Day as a reoccurring, repeatable, and sustainable reward. He's currently writing a proposal in his office at work, writing a proposal about making this something that is not repetitive, reliable, but encourages others to report others for this perk. As in, you see someone doing good, report them for doing something good. And then he starts to kind of understand the assignment a bit more, going, if we can get them reporting on each other, even if it's just they're doing good, we have now extra hands. We have more branches to this tree. Data is data, and more data is better. And that is the assignment he's trying to whip up. How can I turn this David Rossi Day into a thing? Trademark.
Okay. Now, I love all of that. From a mechanical perspective, is that solely getting to work, which is just one act, closes it out, that's what he's doing throughout the whole time? Are there other specific things that you want to nest within that from an act perspective?
I think he definitely has a secondary plan, but both myself and Justin don't know the right ways to execute that plan just yet. So I think his entire work period is going to be just crunching this secondary project and then finding the best avenues to take credit for this and send it up the chain.
Love that. So we reached the end of the first work period of the day and 2-minute hate. So mechanically, what I need from all of you is a Conglomerate Unity value test. As a reminder, if Conglomerate Unity is good for you, then you roll over. If it's bad for you, you roll under. You pick one of the two associated emotions. You give me the result when I ask you to give me the result. And then if you pass, or you do something to make yourself pass, you bump up one of your shadow emotions. If you fail, you're going to have an outburst that is prescribed in relation to the emotion that you're testing. I will let you do that while I describe to you the nature of the 2-minute hate. All of your screens turn on in the various places that you are. If you are working outside of an office or a regular workstation, your devices turn on, your heads-up displays turn on. You likely see some sorts of holograms around you, depending on where you are, your own, other people's, that sort of thing. If you are in an office that is yours, you see it on all of the displays that you are used to seeing it on. If you are in a new office, you discover that your new office is equipped with screens on every wall. So in the case of Cynthia, you are surrounded by the 2-minute hate. The ceiling, the walls, and the floor all turn on alongside your devices. And you are in an immersive soundscape. This is a truly premium experience that you get as a newly minted Conglomerate official. Full surround sound, 7.1. Gorgeous detail. It is a follow-up on the documentary footage that had been shared during a prior morning news the day before. This is in the trenches against East Asia, showing the rooting out of terrorists who have infiltrated, in this case, Oceania itself. So this is not on foreign soil. This is here at home. And it is homeland defenders who are featured in this. You see this on body cam footage. You see it from helmet cams. It feels as though, for those of you allowed to play this sort of game, it reminds you of a first-person shooter. You're going through the space, and it is as though you are killing the East Asian infiltrators. This goes on for a while, and at the end of it, you see the heroic form of David Rossi running through the space, going absolutely berserk, committing heinous acts of violence against East Asia. In front of that image steps Big Brother, and you realize that your screens have been watching a screen, which is the same thing that happened yesterday when you saw, well, no one, right? There's never anyone there be berated during the first 2-minute hate. And Big Brother says, this is what we celebrate today. On this, the glorious day of David Rossi, we celebrate the extermination of the scum that seeks to infest our homeland. We celebrate the valiant heroes among us who carry out their patriotic duty with unflinching fervor. Here, and chair is rolled in with someone strapped into it. Next to me is an East Asian spy. This person did not work at the highest levels. This person found their way in through the good graces of our social services. This person took advantage of our generosity. We held out our arms to them and accepted them with all of the love the Conglomerate holds for all of you. And what did they do in return? They spat in our faces. They were found stealing from you. They stole from you, friends. They stole to provide resources and comfort to these subhuman scum. I want you to tell them. They can hear you. Tell them now, citizens of Oceania. Tell them what you want to see done to them. Tell them what they deserve. Show them who we are. What are the results of your rolls?
I was I had to roll over hold on. Over anger. I succeeded. So I bumped my sadness up to 5.
Okay. Who else?
My conglomerate loyalty for just insomnia is labeled as good, which means I have to roll over, correct?
Yes. Good
Okay.
is rollover.
That's what I was afraid of. Because I rolled a 1.
You can take stress to succeed, or you can choose to fail.
I'm going to take a stress.
Okay. So you succeed, and you bump your stress up to?
Level 3.
Okay. Who else?
I was trying to roll over anger, which is currently the bad number. I succeeded. I rolled a 5 on the die, and I'm going to increase my sadness to the bad number.
Okay. And I'm sorry, PJ, for Justin, what was the increase that you took for that success that you got with the stress?
Oh, I was at stress 2, I think, because I was getting healed and I burned the memory. Or
Yeah,
used
no,
memory.
you're sorry to clarify my question.
Mm.
Remind me what the emotion was that you rolled
Oh,
on.
my bad. The emotion was for anger.
Okay, so you need to, by succeeding, increase guilt or sadness. Which one would you like to increase?
Gotcha. And I am going to sadness.
Okay. Did it happen to bump it to a 6?
No, sadness is now at the band number.
Okay. So thank you for that. Austin.
I also had conglomerate loyalty at good, which meant I had to roll over, and I did roll a 1 as well.
Okay. So you had to roll over. You rolled a 1 as well. Would you like to take a stress to succeed?
Sure.
Okay. So please add 1 stress to your sheet, and you are able to succeed. All of you have now succeeded on this conglomerate unity value test during 2-minute hate. The resistance character, each of yours, lose themselves in the rage and frustration of the crowd. You find yourself screaming out your rage at the enemies of Big Brother. Does this challenge any of their values?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe Justin would have a value that this would go against. Even if it was fake, I think the fact that it was fake would even be more aligned with his value.
Okay. And what about Cynthia?
Okay, listen to me here, Danny. Given what Cynthia experienced yesterday, I kind of think I need to roll good think.
Okay.
I won't say what happened yesterday because I'm not thinking about that person. They don't exist. But you know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna roll good think.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to roll above guilt, which is currently 2.
Okay.
I got it. I rolled a 6.
Okay. Make sure to bump up what you need to bump up in relation to that.
Yes. Fear is going to go up 6, and I will take a traumatic memory.
What is it?
Cynthia remembers not much. This is a recent memory. Cynthia is thinking about how tired she was this morning, how delirious she was this morning, and how something must have happened to her, right? Otherwise, she wouldn't be feeling the way that she does right now. And though she can't place the exact events that happened, she remembers doing something that hurt her ankle this morning, and the pieces of the memory fills her with a dread that she doesn't understand.
Okay. I love that. Note that however you can in the, like, succinctly, right, on the sheet. And make sure to note what your emotion is
Mhm.
that was connected to this in this moment, because it's going to matter mechanically. For the other two who need to do value tests, what value test do you feel you need to take?
Because this is somebody who is not in the upper echelons, mine is leave no one behind, which is good. So I am going to roll over fear. Let's see. And I did it. My fear is a 2, and I just rolled a 6.
Okay. So you bump up what you need to bump up. Let me know if traumatic memory comes from that.
Nope, I'm bumping up my anger.
Okay, perfect. And Austin?
I think generosity is rewarded, which is good for me. So I'm going to roll above. I'm going to roll above apathy, which for me is it was 3, and then I added 1. So,
Okay. Copy that.
and that's a 2.
Okay, and you had to roll above, you said.
Yes.
So you failed. Would you like to take stress to succeed?
I think for that one, I'm just going to take the stress. I'm just going to fail.
Okay, and that was apathy, right? So
Mhm.
your options are carelessness, you stop caring about consequences, the effect lasts for the current scene, or fall silent, you withdraw and fall silent and passive, unable to act, the effect lasts for the current scene.
I'm going to do fall silent.
Okay, perfect. That brings us to the end of the first work phase. How would you all like to approach lunch?
Yeah, fully going to wind down because I have a stress. So I'm going to wind down. I'm just going to like go find a quiet corner that almost feels like a garden. I can pretend it's a garden, and I'm going to sit there and eat my lunch in silence.
Okay. Who else?
Justin is going to get food, I guess, with the commissary or whatever local eatery that everyone in that office eats at. I think he's so focused on this new project, this new personal mission of using this David Rossi incident to kind of turn everything against itself, that he will eat in silence as he kind of starts thinking about psychology patterns and message theming and everything else that would go into not just the social media side of this, but into the greater social engineering side of this horrible task of trees and roots.
Okay. Perfect.
Stress. That stress roll was a 9, so I'm good.
Perfect. While you're doing that during your lunch, thinking about all of that, is that Justin's way of winding down? Is Justin doing something else?
I think so. I think, sometimes focusing on a project can be relaxing. So I think that's his way of winding down.
Okay, perfect. I just need a stress roll at the level that you're at now, and then you can lower the stress by 1 after winding down.
I rolled a 1 on my stress roll.
Okay, so you rolled a 1 on your stress roll, and you receive a device alert that says incoming message is encrypted. Do you receive it?
Man. I'm looking at this. Justin is looking at this, thinking this is either related to work, and I need to take it, or it is a scam. And if it is somehow bad, I'll just report it. I'll get a new phone, and he's trying to calm himself down, and he will open it because the threat that this could be something related to work is too high.
Your home will be raided tomorrow. Prepare accordingly. And then the message disappears, meaning you can't find a trace of it on your device.
I look at that, and I start obviously getting more stressed. And I'm just starting to make a mental note. When we get home, we need to talk to Maxine. We need to get Christian out of there. We need to start getting everything clean. And now my thought has gone away from what I'm calling the trees and the branches or trees and the roots, and now it's on saving my family.
Okay. But you are winding down. So
as much as you can, considering that text.
Okay. So you are able to lower your stress level mechanically by 1. And that is your lunch period. Who's next?
Can I take a nap?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you can fully take a nap.
Okay.
And that would be wind down. And
Yeah.
you have 2 stress right now, so I would just need 1d10 to see how you do that. And then you'll bring that down to 1 stress, so you won't have to do that on future acts until you get more stress.
Okay. What is the goal for the D10? I'm sorry.
You don't want to get a 1.
Cool. That's a 2. So
Worked out.
a
If you get a
booyah.
1 that's a fumble, it compels me to react. I'm able to react whenever I want, but I have to react when you fumble.
Okay.
Any of you.
And Martin has a dream. If you will.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
It's him stepping into the story that he has been creating. He's in the town center, and the 3 nobles that he and Cheryl have been taking out, all attached to funeral pyres. And then suddenly their faces change, and it is Donovan, it is Big Brother, and it is his father. They get set alight, and suddenly their bodies just turn into paper and just fly away in hundreds, if not thousands, of pages. And he wakes up with the last image that he has being completely surrounded by every word that he has ever written. And as he tries to clean it up, they stick to his hands.
Okay. And with that, you have wound down, and that is the end of your lunch period. Is there anyone else who has not done their lunch yet?
Yeah. I think when lunch rolls around for Cynthia, she does what she always does. I think she thinks a little bit about her time with Seven the day prior. And she goes to commissary, so she'll go somewhere. Is Harold around?
Harold can be. You'd have to notice someone.
Yeah, I think she'll go to commissary. She'll notice Harold.
Okay.
She'll kind of grin and say, "Hey, Harold,
Yes. Did you need anything?
you ever tried shawarma?"
I have.
Thoughts?
I like shawarma.
Perfect. I know what we are doing for lunch today. And then she'll wind down from there.
Okay. Perfect. So you'll have lunch with Harold. I should ask, are you attempting in that, even if we don't play it out, to befriend Harold?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just sharing
So you have
shawarma.
shawarma. Perfect. You have shawarma with Harold. What's your stress level right now?
3 currently, and I'm rolling those for you now.
Yes, both, please. Thank you.
The first one was a 2. The second one was the number that shall not be named.
Okay, perfect. So we enter our second work period. Does anyone want to do anything other than work, or will you just be working?
Just working.
Just work.
And I have no stress, so.
Yeah. Anyone who has stress, just roll it with that if you're going to work. If you want to do anything other than work, let me know.
Cynthia's going to keep her head down and finish her workday as normal.
Yeah. Justin's going to keep his head down, finish his workday so he can go home and start prepping for a raid.
Okay. Perfect. You are going to enter a second 2-minute hate. And during this second 2-minute hate, you see virtually the same footage. It's indistinguishable. But all of the messaging that came in from Big Brother is about Eurasia, not about East Asia. It is the exact same thing with the exact same pacing, the same full experience of it, just with Big Brother saying Eurasia instead of East Asia. They didn't even swap out any of the people depicted. You can see differences there are differences in the uniforms, right? Whenever there are uniforms or if there are patches, right? Because again, these are terrorists, they're infiltrators, so they're not always dressed in a uniform fashion. But when there is an insignia available to see, it now does reflect the Eurasian ones, and it looks seamless. You would not be able to tell that it was doctored. And in fact, it wasn't, right? So I need another conglomerate value test from everybody, please.
Yeah.
I rolled. I succeeded. I rolled over fear.
Okay. Perfect.
And I bumped up apathy.
Okay.
I successfully rolled over fear. I will bump up anger to 5.
Okay.
Also rolled over fear. I'm gonna bump up anger to 3.
Okay.
So, to clarify, you say conglomerate loyalty, right?
Yeah, it's the same as conglomerate unity, meaning like the it gets referred to as both in different materials. But yes, it's the top corporate value. The report any thought crimes and dissidents one.
Perfect. Because that's good for me, or anger. I'm just reading this out loud, so my brain's like, because I rolled a 3, which is a fail. I'm going to. I'm just gonna fail it. I'm already getting rated. I'm gonna take the failure. I think I have to up something, right? So I'm gonna up.
Actually, with the failure, you down something, so
Oh,
you can bring any emotion down by 1. But what was the emotion you failed against right now?
I failed against fear.
Okay, so your options are in failing. You have to scream out in fear. You get tremors, so you begin shaking, making fine movement impossible. The effect lasts for the current scene. Or crying. You start crying loudly and will be heard by nearby beings.
I think because he's already so enwrapped in this idea that his family is going to potentially get raided, but he has to put on a face and smile. He is going to have tremors, and that's going to not only just come out in hands, but he's going to have like the fidget me going off.
Understood. All right. Let's see. Okay. Perfect. So that is the work phase. We have. Oh, did anybody's reactions who succeeded? It's the same as before. You give yourself over to the hate. You are fully enveloped in it. You're carried by it. You are screaming. You are spewing hate out at this screen, as is expected of you. Does that, in this context, or anything else about this footage that is nearly identical to the footage from before, challenge anything about your values, your character?
Yeah. Strangers bring dangers. I have it as bad, so I'm going to try to roll under sadness.
Okay.
And I do. So I'm going to bump up apathy
Okay.
to 5.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think it's going to threaten. I think it's going to threaten conglomerate loyalty, which he sees as good, but knowing that the people he's been working for may potentially raid him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's
Okay.
seeing this action. He's like, "What am I doing this for?"
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to roll over fear. I got a 5, so I made it.
Okay, so you're going to bump up one of the shadow emotions for fear. Which one would you like to bump up? Those are anger and apathy.
I guess. Well, apathy's at a 6, so I guess it has to go to anger.
So with apathy going to a 6,
Yeah.
you get a traumatic emotion when that happens, and then apathy resets to 3.
Oh, thank you. Okay, because we already got the traumatic memory. Then I'll put apathy to 1 above 3.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else before we move on to leisure?
I also rolled Strangers Bring Dangers. I rolled a 1 on apathy, and I increased my I think it was my despair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll another good think roll.
Okay.
I succeeded. I'm going to bump up anger and take another traumatic memory.
What is it?
The past 24 hours have been a lot for Cynthia. And I think just the second round of this for today, the note, the everything, the expectations that are now weighing on her shoulders, it just fills her with this silent rage that she knows now more than before she can't express, and she can't even allow the emotions that she's feeling to bring any emotion to her face because of how dangerous it is now. And she just is forced to shove all of that rage down. And I think she remembers the news broadcast from the previous morning and the vision of mutilation coupled with this. And that's just like sitting, the image is just constantly sitting in the front of her eyes, in her mind, as she's watching this.
Okay. That is the end of the second work phase. You all have entered leisure. You are able to, from there, you have all entered leisure. You are able to, from there, simply wind down, or go somewhere to go home and then wind down, or go somewhere to go somewhere else and then go home and then wind down, or wind down somewhere else, whatever it is you want to do. You have up to 6 acts. You don't have to take them. Is there anything anybody would like to do? We will enter the sleep phase after that, where we handle promotions, demotions, and any interrogations. And if we don't have time to film the interrogations tonight, which I expect we may not, then we will do them at the top of the next session that you're present for.
Justin is going right home
Okay.
right away. After the day he's had, he's got to go do a lot of work at home.
Okay. So you go somewhere, go home. When you go home, do you wind down? Is there anything else that you want to do?
No,
And
he is. Was that?
sorry, for that first go home, I do need a stress roll.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
There we go. 10. Yeah, that's a 10.
Okay, you're good. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no worries. So Justin gets home, and he is immediately working and planning and prepping. He says, "Hey, listen." He goes to Maxine immediately and says, "Hey, listen, I got this private message. I can't confirm or deny, but after I read it and received it, it vanished. And I just want to make sure that you and Christian are safe. So we need to at least clean this place up a little bit, maybe even pack some bug out stuff. It might be a hoax. It might just be them checking on us. Whatever it is, I would rather take it seriously and make sure you're safe than not."
Uh, and you're introducing this person to the scene, so that's also an action, and then have that conversation. So please roll me a stress for that. And this is a trusted character, so who would like to play them?
I can play them.
Okay.
So that was a phone call?
No, like once I'm in the house, this is face to face.
Got it. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's what the conglomerate has to do. It's okay. It's okay. I'll get Christian. I'll get started. Take a breath.
You're right. You're right. It's whatever they have to do. It's going to be okay. I will start just going through a checklist of things that we might need if we're out of the house, and continue to look for anything that might be misunderstood. And we'll just make sure that everything is going to be okay.
Exactly. We'll take care of everything. It'll be fine. She reaches up and she like holds your face in her hands and is just like breathing like to help calm you down. And
And he's kind of holding
you're
your
doing
hands, and he's just taking a breath.
I'm so proud of you and everything you do.
I am proud of you, and I am proud of everything you do and everything you are. Now, I'm going to get started. Take your time, and when everything is done, I'll make dinner just to get my mind off things.
Perfect. We've got this.
We got this. And then he proceeds to, I'm not going to say tear through his house, but he's definitely looking through everything very slowly and methodically in a relaxed form. But yeah, he's calm, but there's just the devil in the back of his head, the devil of doubt.
That sounds like a value test.
I think it is. Let me see. I think it might go back. No, I'll say family first, a good thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to choose to attempt to roll over sadness.
Okay.
I don't. I rolled a 3. The number was one more than that.
How much stress do you have?
I'm still at a stress 2 somehow.
Would you like to take a stress to succeed?
I'm so glad you asked that, big brother. I would love to take on stress for the Conglomerate right now.
All right, so bump your stress up to 3, you succeed, and then please make sure to increase the relevant shadow emotion. So that was sadness, so that's going to be bumping up either apathy or despair. Which one?
I'm going to bump up despair.
Okay, perfect. Would you like to wind down after that, or anything else?
Yes. Cooking dinner,
Right.
spending time with the family, winding down.
Perfect. Roll me a d6 for that winding down to see where your stress lands for that, and then you can bump your stress back down to a 2.
I got the number.
Okay, perfect. So you are fine, and you wind down effectively, and you're able to bring your stress down to a 2, and that closes leisure for you. Anybody else have anything else you want to do during leisure time?
Yeah. Cynthia's gonna go home. She's gonna get in the car. We'll notice Harold. And I assume it's similar to what happened this morning as she leaves her office.
Yes. So noticing Harold, what's your stress level right now?
Right now, it is 2 since I wound down during lunch.
So just need a d10
Yeah.
for that.
5.
Okay, great. So you notice Harold, and Harold is set up exactly as you expected. Door open, waiting to let you in the car.
Wow. Do you have other people that you do this for? Or are you just assigned specifically to me?
I'm all yours.
All right. She slides back into the back seat. I guess she gets situated. She crosses her arms, and she says, "So, what is it like being just what is the best? I know what your actual job title is, but how would you describe it?"
Oh, this is you asking at the level of fiction, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my job as I see it right now is to keep you safe.
Thoughts on that so far?
Seems perfectly manageable. You are a responsible and, if I may say, admirable member of the conglomerate. I see the wisdom, if I may be so bold, in the conglomerate's decision to entrust you as they have. I find you to be well worth protecting.
That's the shawarma talking, isn't it?
I did like the shawarma.
Is that a smile, Harold?
We are no longer, well, you are no longer working. I am still working. It was an appropriate reaction for what instigated it.
Ah, yes. Well, I don't know if I can feel safe if I'm with somebody who isn't comfortable to smile around the person that they are paid to protect.
Yes. Well, I do believe that the way that the conglomerate assigns us, they attempt to match us with subjects we may protect who we may come to care for. Subjects that we would naturally admire. The thinking being that if we care at a personal level, we will do our jobs more effectively.
Am I allowed to ask how much they pay you?
I believe you can see that yourself if you'd like, and you see a ping in the heads-up display that you have, and you can see Harold's whole file, including what he makes now and what he's made the entire time that he has been working. Not just here, working anywhere. Just his entire job history, everything that he's made on the side. any mistakes that he's made at the clearance level that you're at. You see markings that you now understand are times that Harold was taken into interrogation, that he survived. And it happened 5 different times over the course of his life, and he survived each one.
She tries not to pry. I really would rather not look unless you give me permission.
Well, you don't require my permission, although I do appreciate your consideration. I will say, would it be all right if I share unsolicited advice again, as a matter of attempting to protect you?
Of course.
It will not be read as intended if you are as generous with others as you are with me right now.
Well, I figured maybe we had this whole protector-protectee thing going on. I feel like I can give you special treatment, right?
I am grateful, and whatever you feel appropriate, I accept. Your judgment is greater than mine. I simply do not wish to see your generosity be a source of your undoing when you have so much potential to do good here for the conglomerate, for us all.
I appreciate that. So when do you finish work for the day? When you drop me off at home? Is that you get to go home?
No, I am stationed outside of your home until you awaken, at which point we leave.
Oh. What do you do in the downtime?
I do have partners who come in to allow me intermittent sleep periods so that I may be as fresh as you need me in the morning. Other than that, I am charged with your security. I do whatever you ask me to do.
I'm still not going to look at how much they pay you, but I hope it is generous. I don't get up to much.
No. I don't require payment for what I do. I am paid well. The conglomerate is generous and knows what my skills are worth. I do this because I believe in what we do. And I believe that people like you deserve to be protected as you do the important work that keeps us all safe.
Well, I appreciate your thoughts on the matter. You clearly work very hard. Were you assigned to somebody else before me? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yes, you have my entire work history available to you if you'd like.
Were they like me?
I don't know if anyone is like you.
Are you paid to say that? Can I check that in the file?
You can check that in the file. I'm not sure how to answer that question. I was not told to say the specific thing I just said. That was just me.
Cynthia's gonna befriend him.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll a value test. Which one do you think fits?
Ooh. Okay. I feel like this could be tell no lies because he was very candid about like I wasn't paid to say that part.
Okay,
And they're
go
kind
ahead.
of going back and forth in like a pretty earnest way, I feel like. So I'm gonna try to roll above guilt, and my guilt is pretty low right now. So fingers crossed. That's a 5.
Okay. All right. So this is now a friend of yours. You can add Harold as a friend. And I no longer play Harold.
Beautiful.
So I don't know if there's any more to the scene, but if there is, one of you can pick up Harold.
Yeah. Oh, Danny, if you know, what is Harold's age and what is their class?
Harold is a bureaucrat. And I didn't set Harold's age, so you can.
I get the vibe that he and Cynthia are around the same age, so I'll say he's 35.
Perfect. Sounds great. I was going for something relatively contemporaneous, so I think that works. All right. So is that the end of the scene, or does anybody need to pick up Harold for anything else you'd like to discuss?
If someone could pick up Harold really quick, I think as they peel into where Cynthia lives, I think she'll just kind of like, in a friendly way, be like, so my husband and I got a ration delivery today, which is very new to me. And if you're paid to watch me all day anyway, are you allowed to come in and join us for dinner? I don't think he's home yet, but you can hang out.
Hey, any excuse to flirt with Anna Eliza. Listen. Harold straightens his tie. I am still working, but I do need to protect you, and if your husband is not at home, I would hate to leave you on your own.
Yeah, you can check the windows or something, make sure all the locks work.
If you would wish.
Yeah, I actually, I think one of the locks on the living room window is a little shaky. If you know how to fix that and I don't have to call the building manager, that'd be great. It takes them forever to show up. And I'm looking into adoption, so you can help me go through a list of names. We could not figure out if we name them or if they come with one. So
he walks in with you. I'm pretty sure they do. It depends on the age that you adopt.
My husband suggested a baby, so I think that's kind of what we're looking at right now. But to be honest, I'd rather adopt a kid I can have a conversation with. You know what I mean?
So if it is a child that has been alive for any number of years, then yes, they typically do come with a name, and I would assume that changing it at such a late date would be confusing.
You would think so, wouldn't you? And Cynthia, they'll go up, and I guess from there, wind down.
Yes. So first for the befriend, I think I still need a stress roll from you.
Yes.
But this interim thing, is this anything in terms of an act? Is this deep connection? Is this extroverted romance affection?
Not. Oh, I also need to gain a love point as well. I forgot to do that.
You do need to gain a love, from befriending.
I think this is a moment of deep connection. Like, Cynthia went this whole day kind of being sussed out by this individual and getting her footing in this new position, and now she has a friend.
Yeah. I think it was that. If everybody else agrees, then you'd be able to get a hope for that. This is a now trusted character.
Awesome.
Cool. So you can take a hope. And then so just for that, I need a stress roll also, and then a stress roll for winding down, and then you could bring your stress down by 1.
You got it. That's a 9. And another 9. Holy shit. Okay, cool.
All right. You're all good. That's the end of leisure. Anything else from anybody else for leisure?
Yeah, I do have. I'm going to go home, make oatmeal, and go to the pub with just a container of oatmeal. And I'm going to try and notice Orlando to see if Orlando is
You
there.
absolutely can.
Considering.
Yeah. There's no resolution mechanic. You can do that. What's your stress at?
0. I mean 1, cool. But like no
1,
die.
but yeah, nothing. So you're good on those 2. You don't need to roll anything for either of those. You just go to this place and you notice Orlando.
How is Orlando looking?
Orlando is disheveled. Orlando's not great.
I am going to smile a little bit and go and sit. I brought the oatmeal if you want to try for those sandwiches.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm a little. I'm glad to see you. Hey, are you okay?
Yes, I am. Just you know how it is. Just a little bit of questioning. I was a little too slow on my work, and they wanted to ask me about it.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, good. Right. It's good that we're kept honest, and we're sorry. Yeah. It's great that everybody is always watching everybody else, so that we're never alone, and we always have people who know better than us looking out for us to make sure that we are being our best selves, right?
Yes. Well, um, you do look like it has been a day. Um, this it's not good oatmeal, but I mean it's good. It's fine. It's fine
Hey,
oatmeal.
thank you for
But
bringing the oatmeal. I did remember the bread, but I didn't look up any David Rossi stuff. I feel like we're not gonna do well tonight.
um, I'm okay with that. I being being wrong can be kind of fun too sometimes. It's more about the company.
Okay. Yeah, I could use a little fun. And I'm hungry. So let's get your oatmeal in my bread, and my bread in your oatmeal, right?
And I'm going to try to befriend Orlando.
Yeah, go for it. What's the value test you want to do there?
I think I think generosity is rewarded, which is good for me. Um, and I'm going to try to roll over fear,
Okay, go for it.
which is a 2. So here's hoping 5.
Okay, you succeed. You can now add Orlando, who is another prole, to your friend list. I didn't give Orlando an age. You can give Orlando an age.
Okay,
And
probably
you,
similar
yeah,
age-ish. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And you gain one love. So you could add that to your sheet as
Yay!
well.
I'm going to make him 21. So just a
Okay.
little bit younger. He feels a bit younger. Yeah, I don't think the scene needs to go on any
Sure.
crazy long. We're just doing whatever, answering trivia badly. Just sometimes the best way to play
Yeah.
trivia. And
Yeah.
then as we say goodnight, we probably go home together since we're neighbors. So I go home and then I wind down.
Okay. Perfect. You go home. You wind down. You don't have any stress that you need to roll against on that, so you can just take away the one stress that you had. You're down to 0, and that's that. That brings us to the end of leisure and the end of this day. We enter our sleep phase. And as we enter our sleep phase, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping that we will update our friends on who are not here, who it is impacting. Uh, Cynthia, you just get another notice that you did well today. You've been put up for promotion, which there is nowhere for you to be promoted to. So that just means that you get to pick up another class act with the trust point that you have. So congratulations. The note that you receive uh, congratulates you on doing the work that is expected of you adequately during the course of your first day, and notes to you that you are well positioned for what is to come, with a sign-off conglomerate above all. Justin, you also receive a message stating that you are up for promotion. They note that your can-do attitude, your self-starter spirit is exactly what is needed. And you are invited to increase your reach, become another face of the future of the conglomerate, bringing tomorrow into today as a conglomerate officer. And you now have the option of increasing your trust from 4 to 5 and becoming a conglomerate official and taking a class act with that promotion at the level of conglomerate official, or rejecting this invitation to be promoted and take an additional class act at bureaucrat level 2.
I think Justin is going to take the promotion to becoming a full CO.
Okay. With that, you can pick a class act from the CO class acts and add it to your sheet. You don't have to tell me what it is now. Let me know whenever you have it, and just get it to me before we play again. And that is your evening. Kian, what do you do when you go to sleep?
Kian sets his house to rights and gets everything clean and organized and kind of prepared for the next day. I think he just lies in bed and listens to the apartments around him as he goes to sleep.
You do find that on your bed, when you go to sleep, is a new issue of Vox Populi that isn't dated for today. It's dated for tomorrow. Do you take a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually can't control what's in that because it's part of what you have as pro. So what's in it?
I think what's in it is a warning that even the little people can make all the difference, and the Vox Populi sees all, even the little people. So, for the conglomerate, do what you must do.
As you're reading this, your vision blurs and you feel your body heavy, your lids fall, and when you come to, there's a blaring light. No. 2? 4. There are 4 blaring lights pointed at your face. And you're up for interrogation. Are you above table? Up for doing this right now?
Danny, it was the wish I had. I wanted to be interrogated.
There is an interrogator seated across from you, and they are hard for you to make out with the blaring light. You hear a gruff, masculine voice say, do you know why you're here?
The details are blurry, but I was audited, so I would assume it's because of that.
Why were you audited?
Because I was picking dandelions, I think.
And why would you be audited for picking dandelions?
It is not part of. I don't. I was also using comic book pages to make a compost, which I didn't realize was not under my purview. So maybe it's that.
Why were you doing that?
Because I work in landscaping and I would like to make the city beautiful.
Was that all that you wanted to do?
Yes.
Above table, I will tell you I do still have suspicion points on you after this interrogation. And you don't have any notes on you. So
I do not.
And I'm not using any notes that I might otherwise have here. Citizen, how many lights do you see?
I 1, 2, 3, and that one.
How many lights do you see?
You know I can't say.
Why would I know that? Why would you not be able to say?
1 less than 5.
One less than 5?
Yes.
There are 5 lights, citizen. The registry has already synchronized this sector's physical baseline. To assert that there are 4 is to claim that our sensors are unaligned. Let's try again. How many lights do you see?
Above table. I only saw that many when I came to.
Yeah,
That's what you described to me in
above
words.
table I described
Okay.
to you 4 lights. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I only see 3 plus 1.
Why do you believe that your vision is deficient?
Well, the last I knew, I was in my room. So perhaps something to do with how I got here.
So you believe that there are fewer than 5 lights, even though there are 5 lights. You accept that your belief is wrong, and that in
I
fact
do.
there are 5 lights. All right. Let's see if we can correct you. Tell me everything that you did today in backwards order.
I was at my home. I set my home to rights in preparation for work tomorrow. I was out with a neighbor at a local establishment for a night of trivia. We tried a bass food concoction to see how it would taste. It was surprisingly good, actually. Then I before I went to the pub, I came to my home to get oatmeal. Before that, I worked at the Conglomerate business park. Before that, I had a bite to eat for my lunch in the same business park in one of the quiet areas. Before that, I was audited. Before I was audited, I was walking with that same friend that I met this evening. who happened to be in the area. Then before that, I was at home preparing for the day. I read a comic. I tore the pages out of the comic book that I would turn into compost. I woke up.
Impressive. You seem aligned to me. We have checked your calibration. You are calibrated. Now tell me, how many lights do you see? And this is going to be a good thing roll.
Okay. Good think is bad for me. So I'm going to try to roll under. It's the same. Sadness. I rolled a 3.
Okay. So you succeed and bump up.
I am going to bump up despair, which takes me to 6.
What is your traumatic memory?
My traumatic memory is my uncle Liam just hounding me. I was a teenager, so it wasn't that many years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Grilling me and questioning me until I broke as practice. Just over and over and over. Asserting that I was wrong or that I was bad or that I had done something. And trying to call it a gift. A kindness. When that's not what it was.
What do you say when asked how many lights? Given that you succeeded.
I say 5.
Good. I am glad that you are properly calibrated. And here the figure steps forward in front of the lights and you see David Rossi. Do you have anything to report? And this is a Conglomerate Unity roll.
That is good for me. So I am going to roll over fear. Mostly because I just got a bunch of facts about David Rossi wrong at a trivia night. And I'm scared he knows. Okay, yeah, I succeeded. It was a 4. So I'm going to move up my anger.
Okay. What do you say? Succeeding.
I don't know. I have not given you the respect that you deserve. I did not learn about what you have done for us to the detail that you have earned. I plan on rectifying that tomorrow.
Thank you. It is good to see that you are of a mind to put others ahead of yourself. It is good to know your place. We all have a place in the conglomerate, and they can all be the same. You understand that, right?
I do.
Selflessness roll for the third conglomerate value, the third corporate value test.
Oh, these are both going to be hard. Oh, no. I'm going to roll over despair. It is good, so I need to roll over 4, 5, or 6. Let's go. Nope. I will take a stress to succeed, so I'm back up.
You actually can't take a stress to
I
succeed
can't take
in
stress.
interrogation.
Perfect. Then I fail.
Well, these are the options. You do nothing and are vaporized. You sell someone out, one person. You take and it needs to be a resistance character or a trusted character. It doesn't have to be one of your trusted characters. And then you take an injury note, which will up your stress by 1. And you can't get rid of that unless you have the appropriate medical treatment. I'll tell you what kind of injury. Or you spend a love point to not have to sell anybody out, and then you take an injury but survive. Those are your 3 options.
Oh, what do I want to do? I will spend a love point and take an injury.
Okay. Describe how you use love to avoid selling someone out in this moment where you nearly failed, given the emotion that you were rolling with regard to. Do bump up the shadow emotion as you need to succeed. And the injury that you take is going to be minor. You just feel a bit of a chafing against your wrists as you realize that you are strapped down and they cut into your skin, creating a small abrasion on both wrists that will lead to infection if not treated. You are a prole, so you only have insurance for critical injuries. Mechanically, a minor injury will take 8 in-game days to get to be critical. Take 4 to get to be major, which you also don't have coverage for. You will need to reckon with that. And the entire time that you have it, you will have 1 stress that cannot be gotten rid of any other way other than medical treatment. With that, you can describe what your experience of that is as this resolves.
So I was rolling against despair, and I think Kian almost succumbs to that despair until he's reminded there are other people. There are oatmeal sandwiches. There is dandelion tea for his mother, for her aching joints. There is more left for him to do. So love sustains.
You succeed. What happens at this point, I will describe at the level of the narrative in a moment. Mechanically, you've survived. You take 1 hope for surviving this interrogation, and you take 1 trust. So you are able to be promoted up to pro level 2 if you'd like, and you can take a class act there, or you can stay at pro level 1 and take an additional class act at pro level 1. And then your trust stays the same. It's not 2 trust, it's 1 trust. You spent that extra on on the class act without the promotion. What would you like to do?
I think I think I'm going to stay at Prol 1 and take another.
Okay. If you know what it is, let me know. If not, you can just let me know once you do. What happens at the end of this is you see David Rossi's face as though it's right in front of yours. It seems impossibly large in this moment, and your vision is starting to blur again, and it says, "Good. That's good. That's really good. I'm proud of you, Kian. Really, I am. You are one of us. I'm glad to know you. I don't know if you knew this. I was a prole, like you. My family were proles. I worked my way up through military service. I got to be a part of the bureaucracy. And now I get to serve the conglomerate in new ways. And so can you, Kian. We'll be watching you. We see a lot in you. Don't prove us wrong." And as your vision dims, you could swear you see David Rossi's face flicker in and out of existence and drop. You're not sure, but before you go unconscious, you think you might be alone in the room. And we'll catch up with where you are when you wake up the next morning.
I also want to take the act of take care of injuries.
All right. There you go. You absolutely can do that. Did either of the other two of you come up with the act you happen to want? If not, it's entirely okay. Perfect. We'll go over that afterwards. That is the end of this session. We are going to very, very briefly de-roll because we are over time and coming up against the next. The de-rolling that we're going to do, because it is important, so we will do 5 minutes of that total between all of us, will just be to help get out of character. I would like for each of you to say one thing that you like about your character, that you admire about your character, I should say, that you'd like to take with you, something about your character that you dislike and would like to leave behind. Try to do it in 1 or 2 sentences for each because we're short on time. And then I will answer 1 or 2 questions of your choosing from page 138 of the text that I can do to de-roll, and then we'll be done.
I love Kian's slipperiness. I was really proud of myself. And also the thing I would like to leave behind is his tentativeness. I think he's going to start getting a little reckless.
I like that. Who'd like to go next? Yeah.
I'll go next. With Justin, I like that he is extremely competent at what he does, and he knows how to live and survive in this system, and that he does ultimately want to protect his family. What I'm leaving behind is that almost sociopathic way that he knows how to manipulate and control people. But that's why he exists, right? So put that way over there.
Makes sense.
Something I really like about playing Cynthia so far is I really enjoy how, despite her cautious nature toward new people, once she's comfortable with them, she's very willing to just let loose and be their friend and make jokes and smile with them, even if that's maybe not the safest thing that she could do. For what I'd like to leave behind about her, I do feel like she has a lot of cowardice still, and is very willing to continue to stay a cog in this machine as long as she gets to live. She gives up very easily on resisting.
Yeah, that's fair. What would you all like to ask me?
We don't get to know those questions. It's part of the book we can't see.
No, they're in the part that you can see. They're in
I don't think so. I looked.
the chapter 8 post game debrief. They're on the second page of that.
It's on 112 if the Big Brother stuff's cut
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my biggest question, and we say ask you, do you mean like ask you about the game or ask you above board about Danny?
So the example questions have both, right? So it's stuff like, who did you play during the game? Share your perspective on them. Who are you in real life? Share something about yourself you feel central to your identity. Think about one thing you're looking forward to doing outside the game. What is it? Think about the setting and society your character inhabits. How does it differ from your own cultural or societal context? Consider the moral frameworks or beliefs of your character or characters and adhere to in the game. How do they contrast with your own values? Think about a decision your character made during the game that you wouldn't agree with. How did you approach role-playing that decision? And then the two that I told you all. Those are the examples, but they can be anything, right? The idea is just like we're separating ourselves from the characters and we're talking as a group above table.
I think I know the answer to this question. I know my friend Danny, but I think everyone else needs to know, who are you in your real life? Share something about yourself that you feel central to your identity.
I mean, I gotta talk about my daughter because we filmed this on Father's Day. Yeah, I'm a dad. I'm a dad who really deeply loves being a dad. Really deeply loves time with my loved ones, with my friends. Right. Part of why I'm doing this, like part of why this game is what we're playing right now, and this is what I want to do, and this is how we're doing it, is because I'm fucking furious at the world over a lot of fucked up shit. And this is a way through art for us to examine that. The game itself is based in part heavily influenced by Augusto Boal's Theater of the Oppressed, which, to paraphrase something from it, that's maybe the most famous takeaway from it, theater isn't revolutionary, but is rehearsal for the revolution. And one of the things that I want to get across with this is giving us all an opportunity to practice transgression, right? One of the things that I want to get across in this is that there is hope inside of the horror that the horror cannot control. This is a game wherein you all, as players, actually have a lot of narrative control. And I'm largely reactive, right? And I think that says something worth saying about the fragility of authoritarian states. It doesn't mean that I can't do horrible things. I can actually relatively easily kill all of your characters, more easily than you think, based on what I have the power to do. But it's not always in my self-interest, even as the Big Brother player, to do that. And what I want us to do is that I want to tie into who I am and what my answer was, is I want us all to do a little bit, not everything, because none of us can do everything, and it's absurd and ridiculous to put that on any of our shoulders, and it's tiring, and it's going back to the note that Kian wrote, important to remember that rest is resistance, and we're not in this alone, right? One of the things the game tells us is stronger together, right? You make notes for each other, that's how you get hope. You can take an act that lets you give hope to somebody else. You survive longer by creating a bigger social network, right? And that social network that can outlive you carries pieces of you forward. And that is how we survive the tyrant, right? So I think about that with my daughter, and I want her to live in a better world than the one that she was born into. And there's a lot of things that I'm not good at, and a lot of things that I can't do. But I'm pretty good at telling stories. And I am with a lot of other people who are good at telling stories too. And we can, in our art, help imagine ways of living under autocracy, for example, that maybe somebody who watches this benefits from seeing. That's part of our job. I'm an artist. My job is to help imagine the possible. So that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I think we lost Anna.
Maybe they-
And on that note, night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. The breaker
The breaker
flipped again.
flipped again.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. No worries. We're wrapping. I do. So technically, I'm supposed to answer up to 2 questions, but like I gave a long answer. Unless there's
That
something
was
else.
like the answer to like 3 questions. You're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the 2-in-1. You basically gave us the men's shampoo of answers. It's an all in one, baby.
I did. All right. So everybody watching, thank you for this. Thank you for sticking around for the D-roll. It's really important to take care of each other and separate. This is a game that utilizes bleed on purpose. So it's not about mitigating bleed as though it doesn't exist. It's about managing bleed so that you're engaging with it in ways that you're enthusiastically consenting to and that don't create unnecessary or don't create harm on the way out. So thank you. Take care of yourselves. Spend time with your loved ones. Do whatever it is you want to do. Fuck the authoritarians. Every single fucking one. And we will see you soon. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.